It's your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. When it's about sports,
it becomes our business.
And business just picked up.
It's your boy Smooth.
B. Baker, Northside's finest.
It's your boy Stant, baby.
Every Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube. Make sure y'all subscribe, click on that bell, because once we go live,
you will be notified.
Hawks are they gonna come down and they're gonna beat them.
What is going on, everybody? It's the Platform Sports Talk Show with yours truly right now in the getaway. Your boy Smooth. Stan will be making his long-awaited comeback to the show. He's been gone for a good month, taking care of some business, but he will be joining us shortly. So with that being said, thanks for tuning in. Your Wednesday night Sports Delight, because when it's about sports, it becomes our business, and business is picking up. With that being said, got a few sports on the way. Look forward to it. And by the way, if you want to have your comments seen on the show so we can read them, you can interact with our special guest. He'll be joining us very soon. And sorry, not Joe. My bad. Not yet anyway. Should be coming up very soon. Later on, should I say, for Joe knows. But if you want to have your comments shown throughout the show so everybody can see and I can read it and we can interact, you have to make sure that you comment under either our Sports Talk Show page on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitter, or under my personal page, which is Free It Head. And if I'm doing like a watch party like I'm doing right now, you don't want to comment under the watch party comments. You want to comment under the live video feed comments, so then I can see your comments on the show and we can interact and have a good time. So like, I know, there we go. How you doing, Miss Williams? Now I can see your comments and everything. So there we go. So I hope everyone has had a wonderful Wednesday. It's been weather-wise, it's been amazing. One day it's 90, and one day it's rain all day, next day it's 80. You know how it is in the Midwest. But I hope that y'all have been enjoying the weather, and at the same token, which is very important throughout these times, just be safe out there. The virus has not gone anywhere, people. There's no second wave that's coming through or anything like that. We're still on the initial wave. It's unfortunate that, well, not unfortunate, but I understand the reason why, money, that things have opened up in regards to businesses and stuff like that. But it's those certain businesses that can attract a lot of people getting that disease, that COVID-19. So people, just be smart out there. Now here in St. Louis, if you're watching from different states, it's been mandated starting Friday that in public places you have to have a mask on. It's to the point to me, it's like, hey, we grown. We shouldn't have to be told to have this mask on. It shouldn't be mandated or a law or whatever. It should be just common sense. But hey, that's just me. Like, to me now, it feels weird if I don't go somewhere in public and not have the mask on. I know y'all seen a lot of those memes when you got keys checked, wallet checked, you out to the car, and then you see Obama doing oh snap, my mask. Like, that's how it is now. It is possibly the new norm. And I know Miss Williams, you may have some comments about that. Your take in regards to how important masks are right now. So please feel free to leave those comments. How do y'all feel right now with things possibly getting back to closing back up? Because that's where it could be leading to. Things could be closing right back up. So once again, if you are watching on my watch party off my page, Free It Head, make sure that you go to not the watch party comments, but the actual live under the Sports Talk Show or under just my page. Or of course, as you see on the bottom of the screen, different sources outside of Instagram, because we're not allowing Instagram right now. Instagram be doing anything. But anyway, that's the way to get your comments shown on the show. And I see a comment right now. So Alice says, but we do need to be told because people don't have exactly. People do not have the common sense. She said she was at Walgreens today and only half the people wore a mask. Let's see how that changes come Friday. Because more than likely, you're going to have all these stores, all these buildings, where no matter what kind of spot you're going to, they're going to require you to have a mask on. And you can't be like, oh, I didn't know, I didn't see it. No, you're going to see it right there at every door, every entrance, everything. You have to have a mask on. I think I've seen a few places, like for instance, my baby girl. This has been her her second week now, I believe, but she's now taking karate classes, and it's mandated that whoever steps in, you have to have on the mask, no matter who you are. Let's see. Miss Williams says, look at Arizona, California, and the South, and you can see what happens when people don't wear masks. Exactly. And right now I hear my boy Stan coming in. So let me go ahead and make these minor adjustments to the screen here and add them on. For those asking about B. Baker, he will be back eventually, y'all. Right now, he just taking smart measures and not trying to risk doing as much as, leaving out the house outside of going to work and making such a run. So he may not be on the show for a few weeks, but we'll see how things turn out. But like I told him personally, hey, whenever you're ready to come on back, the seat is available. And speaking of seats, I know that he's coming. I hear him. I heard the door close. He's coming in. He probably just flew in from his jet, riding like Ric Flair now. But Stan, he is back. Been gone for a minute. While I stall, wait till you come on in to the getaway. Once again, thank you. Thank you very much for supporting this show. For those who are out there for the first time, 3 years strong. Every Wednesday, may have had a special show on a different day, but 3 years strong. Thank you very much, Miss Williams. She says, I love your opening segment. Thank you. I try to do what I try to do. You know what I'm saying? I know I have a nice following, and should I say this show has a great following, and it's all because of y'all. Y'all hit the like buttons or the shares, the retweets, everything, the posts. Y'all support it. We've came a very long way, 3 years in the game. If you haven't seen our very first show, you have to go on Facebook and go all the way back to our video archives of the very first show and see me and Sadal. It was hilarious. It was fun, though, and you can see the growth of this show. But once again, thank you for supporting. You see all the information on the bottom of your screen. Make sure y'all go on YouTube if you're not on there already. Subscribe, click on that bell. You see Twitter, you see Instagram. So we everywhere, and we making noise, y'all. We doing big things. Shouts out to everyone who's tuned in. So Stan is gonna walk in any second now. I think he's maybe getting a little change, getting ready to be under the bright light. So get ready for a show. Speaking of which, last week was incredible. Incredible. What show would have 3 All-Americans, high school All-Americans? 3 guys who went to prominent colleges, and then 2 of the guys went to the NBA and did their thing. So shouts out to the big fella Jahadi White for coming through. There he is.
There wasn't nothing to dry my hands on. This got wet hands in the building.
Here you go.
It's over there.
Paper towel over there. My bad, brother. So there you go. Stan.
Y'all don't see me.
There you go. You saw a white light going across the screen. The screen that was Stan. You can bring it over here if you want to, man. In case you need it. And then feel free. I got all the sanitary stuff you need.
I see.
I already disinfected the microphone and the chairs and everything. So you straight, but feel free. During these times, you just don't know. So, hey, want to make sure that everyone who steps into the getaway feels safe. You don't have to worry about
Goodness.
Now,
Oh, my goodness.
brother,
Oh, wow.
Stan is back.
Oh, man. I love what you've done with the place. Oh, my goodness. The ceiling is purple. They can't see it. The ceiling is purple.
The ceiling is the roof.
Hey, he thought he was like, I'm wild with this one.
Really on it. He thought he was
And remember, the ceiling is the roof.
classic Jordan stuff right there, man.
But like, what if you're like on the second floor of a 3rd-story building, or like a 3-story building? Then the ceiling isn't the roof. The ceiling is the floor.
Right.
See,
That's what it is.
that sounds more motivational. You reaching for the ceiling is only the floor.
Damn, message.
That sounds like something Michael say. I feel like that's what he wanted to say.
Right.
It ain't come out right. He forgot a letter, and he reversed the word floor and got roof.
Yeah, he did something.
You know, dyslexia is a real thing.
Hey, I could tell by how he wears his pants. He got some he got some issues going on.
Hey man, he just stuck in the 2000s with that, which, you know.
Hey, it is what it is, man. But how have you been, bro?
Oh man, I've been good. I've been working.
I've been working day and night.
And it's been crazy. So, you know, I was off today. And I was like, all right, here we go. It's time to come back. Posted about my friend posted that picture of Shannon Sharp, and I was like, yep, I want it. And now that's my new profile picture on Facebook.
There it is.
Posted up with a cigar with it. Stacy's on the desk.
Stacy's
on the desk. Man.
So just not getting into specifics, but on a personal tip, the reason why you've been gone for quite some time, is everything better now?
Everything is better. Everything is better now. We're moving in the right direction.
There we go. Yeah, so continue prayers up, man.
Appreciate you.
And good to have you back, bro.
Man, it's good to be back.
B. Baker made his appearance last week.
I saw him masked up. And
Everybody came mask on. Mask, but it was fun show.
well, okay, since that's what we're doing. Mask is on.
There it is.
I don't know if they can still hear me.
Oh, yeah, you sound great.
Oh, yeah.
You sound great.
What's going on, people?
But yeah, as I said, last week's show was incredible. Shouts out to Jahadi White, Lauren Woods, Chris Carrawell, to Jamie Price for coming through, John Pullman, once again, B. Baker. It was a stacked show. It was incredible. I had a lot of people reach out to me like, yo, this was that show. So I definitely appreciate the love, man, and everything that we had, man. Going
Stack
on.
shows on stack shows.
Stack shows, man, and it don't stop. I know that this show particularly is special for you.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty cool.
yeah,
It's pretty cool.
pretty cool. So we had this plan for a minute. It was just a matter of getting it executed, and
Yeah.
now it's on and popping. So when we get to that point, I would definitely have you go ahead and introduce them onto the show.
Oh, okay, definitely.
There it is. So let's go ahead and get right into the round table. So J.R. Smith is back in the NBA. And he's going to join his boy LeBron. And the last time those two shared a court together,
He thought they was up. Hey, last time we was on the court, I thought we was up. Now I'm just gonna play like we down.
man. So he's joined the Lakers. He'll be number 21. He officially signed his deal today. So when they get things rolling in Orlando,
Which no one knows when that'll be right now.
I mean, I had it last week that the last week of July supposed to be the start, but that's why I had to emphasize supposed to be, because as I stated on our page the last couple of days, you keep on seeing countless of guys in the NBA
Yeah.
getting the virus.
And then it came out either today or yesterday. I think it came out earlier today that Adam Silver is considering doing a halt. Like, he was like, hold on. Let's go ahead and hold off on this. Which, everybody has their opinions about the season. Of course, those who weren't in it, they just like, I'm not going. So, it's whatever. But, they look out for their brethren. Like, they're in that fraternity, so they're looking out for them. So some are saying do it. Some are saying don't do it. Some are saying, this is just a distraction. And it's a lot of things going on, and what did Patrick Beverly say? Hey, if Bron say we playing, we all playing.
So
Let's go.
So with that being said, we haven't did this in a long time. But what if LeBron or Giannis or Harden, if they come down, this is after they start playing, the restart, and they come down with not all three, but one of those kind of, one of those three guys, or, in the in the same bridge as them, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Tier as them. Well, if they came down with COVID, what should the NBA do then?
Oh man, if that happened, then that's a bigger blow than actually restarting the season. I mean, if it's LeBron, then they're gonna shut everything down. That's just that. If it's James Harden, they'll be all right. If it's Giannis, they might consider it. Those are three MVPs right there. So if one of them goes down, then all right, cool. So we might really have to reconsider this.
Yeah.
It's always good to just err on the side of caution and always have your options lined up accordingly.
Yeah.
I heard they're taking a lot of precautions. Like, I don't know where I can get one of them rings at, but I kind of want one. Just be like, oh snap, I'm getting symptoms. Because if we don't know, just 2 coughs, it's like, oh, there it is.
So how do you feel as of course, someone who's not playing in the professional league ranks, whatever, but like they're trying to make this device, like you say, on your wrist or whatever, in which it can detect if there's someone near you that possibly can have the symptoms, but they're not doing it for people who are not playing sports. Would that make you feel if that actually is true? They're gonna do this for all these players who's gonna go to Orlando.
Money talks, man. I've noticed that. Like that's just something that you notice when you're a bigger entity in the public eye. Then they always try to make sure that you're covered first because there's so many people that look up to you. Instead of leading by example with those people, which they did for the most part, but then people started being stupid and going outside. Right. So to have it available to them first, I'm not surprised. That's just how the tiers fall. Right. So it's just another normal day in America. So it's like, okay, so let them be the test dummies, and if it doesn't work and one of them catches it, then you fix it, then give it to us.
So we have a few comments. Shouts out to Bunny. She's watching again. She showed love last week.
Bunny.
She says, "What's up, fellas?" Then
What's up?
Miss Williams says, "If this does get going, it's going to be crazy. Hockey, baseball, NBA. Now the WNBA,
I haven't heard anything from them.
There's been a few players who said they're not going to join, and that's not because of COVID. It's more so because of they're trying to stand for all the social injustices going on."
Mm-hmm.
So then I think Miss Williams, was saying, "Oh man, show some love in regards to Harden."
I mean, I'm not saying it. Okay, all right. Let me specify. I'm not saying it as if like it would matter, but James Harden.
Go ahead.
We done talked about it multiple times on this show. James Harden is only valuable during the regular season. So
you got to put an APB out in the postseason.
You really do. Well, no, you got to put an APB out in like Western Conference Finals. Apparently, he runs out of juice.
Gotcha.
He be using the same charger for his phone when the finals come up. The phone being his body. It's like, brother, if you don't get a better charger,
So wait, is that an Android or iPhone?
Well, iPhone upgraded their charger, so he might have an old iPhone charger. All right. Like yours truly. I left my good iPhone charger in Jamaica. It's like I was angry, but at the same time, at least I left it in Jamaica.
You was living your best life.
But then at the same time, damn, I left it in Jamaica. I can't just call and be like, hey, can y'all ship that to me?
Can you send it to? No.
Anybody know the number for Jamaica? Do you put +1? What's the international code? Like I don't know what it is.
So and I'm sorry, Bunny says the privilege and money makers get the best access to healthcare and gadgets. That's the American way, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Ms. Williams says that sounds unlikely to me. I've heard of devices that can track where you've been, so if someone comes down with the virus, they can tell who they've been in contact with.
I want to double back to that, the bracelet, because I know you were saying if they get it first. Forget who's getting it. Who coming up with this technology to sense things? How? Yeah. I have so many questions. You put this bracelet on, it's going to let you, if anyone around you has the coronavirus, I'd be more worried to wear the bracelet because that's a lot of stuff. And I don't think it's going to pass because somebody's going to try to say, it's 5G. You know they're trying to say the metal pieces and masks, a 5G antenna.
And see, this 5G stuff, stop it. Stop it, okay? But anyway, Ms. Williams, you can add on to that too. And she says, I love Harden, so that's why she's offended. So, and then Steve,
Only in Western Conference Finals does he disappear.
Beauclair says, only.
Oh, what up, Swab? Yes, that's true. That's true. He only disappears in the Western Conference Finals. It's like he goes into the playoffs with his phone on 66%. It's like, bro, if you don't charge it up before you leave the house, it's like, come on now.
Let's see here. Well, make sure. Okay. Yeah, so just hearing that, it puts me in the mindset of, you know how you have like a X-ray goggles or something like that in which you can see like all the bugs in the house. So then you freak out. Oh my God, I got all these bugs. You know what I'm saying? Like
this is your house, just regular, and then they have a black light. And this is your germs in your house.
Right.
Turn on the black light. You're like, oh my goodness.
Exactly. So like that's kind of my.
They got black light bracelets for Corona.
So I'll say what's going on with you, Swab. Thanks for watching. Make sure everyone is sharing this stream with the people so they can tune in and comment and have your comments on the screen because we're doing it like that now.
And sanitize yourself.
Please.
Please.
That's all we're saying. We branding right now. We branding the social distancing a little bit, but we're also definitely branding the disinfectant and
this is 6 feet in total.
the hand sanitizer. We trying to do what we can. You know what I'm saying? Just to be smart with it, y'all. But this is the Platform Sports Talk Show. Your boy Smooth along with
Stan, baby.
Because when it's about sports,
It becomes our business. And business is starting to pick up.
it is.
Because it was slow as hell for like 2 months. It's like in other news, another player has tested. It's like
Right. So, question from Swab. What's y'all thoughts on Dame, or did y'all cover that? So,
okay. Oh, okay.
On 2K.
Why? That was my thought.
Oh.
Why? Out of all people, I have an issue with both of the covers so far, and the third cover comes out tomorrow.
Which has to be.
If Kobe ain't on it, 2K done messed up the whole year. But it has to be because they got the regular edition, the one for the next gen console, and then the Legend edition, which I guess they'll use the same cover for both of them. My issue with the regular version cover, what has Dame done to warrant the cover? Dame ain't the furthest Dame has gone in the playoffs is what, second round?
No, last year, the Western Conference Finals.
That was last year. Against, that was just.
See, that shot that he made, was that last year or 2 years ago?
That shot, it was last year.
Yeah, I think that shot put him in a higher
No, that was.
pedestal.
No, yeah,
No, that was 2 years ago because wasn't Russell Westbrook on that team still?
yeah.
Yeah, so that was 2 years ago.
No, that was last year.
No,
Because Paul George was still on the team. They both left in the same year. Because Paul George went to L.A. and then Russ got traded to Houston?
he says the big shot was last year, but that was it.
That's all his career is. Okay, so he makes clutch shots. All right, cool. Kyle Korver makes clutch shots. He ain't on the cover. I'm just trying to figure out.
He ain't even marketable either though.
I'm just trying to figure out Dame of all people.
And then mind you, he was the cover boy for the EA Sports NBA Live a couple years ago too.
He was. He sure was.
Yep.
And that game ain't sell neither.
No, the whole company gone. Swab says, laughing hella hard. Not Kyle.
That's all I can think of. Kyle Korver make clutch shots. Robert Horry,
Right.
he ain't getting 99-1 cover.
But
He got more rings than Dame.
It's crazy.
Kyle Korver got a ring. Was he on that Cleveland team? I think. Yes, he was. I think.
No, he wasn't. He didn't get a ring. He came after. He came the year after. The same year that they got when they traded away Dwayne Wade and
I know he. I would tell you, Kyle Korver was there before that. I don't think he was. I think he came right after 16, but he didn't come because that year was 18. That's when they got the Nike uniforms. Kyle Korver was still rocking one of them ugly old Adidas championship uniforms.
No, but he didn't win a ring. He
Oh,
came
man,
in
that's
the year
unfortunate.
after. But let me see what else we got going on. I'm trying to make sure we won't miss any. Okay, we got it. Maybe we good on the comments. So yeah, him being on the cover, I mean, I'm cool. You know, it's not a big deal to me. You know, when I was younger, maybe so, but no.
I just feel like Luca, Trey, any of the younger guys. Dang, I just forgot his name. Dude that won the dunk contest, Hamidou Diallo.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe not him. Like Luca, it's not even for that cover. For the next gen cover, which I got an issue with that too.
Okay, why?
Zion only played like 10 games.
But like what Ronnie 2K says is that he represents that next generation, that next wave. So that's the reason why he's on that next gen cover.
And not Ja Morant, who was probably on the way to be a Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know if they're still gonna do season accolades.
I don't think so. You can't.
Which really sucks, because if that's the case, then Ja truly is gonna get cheated. Which is really unfortunate.
And people are saying that the way, because the new revised NBA schedule is out, so you can go on any website and check it out. But they're saying that the schedule like really favors Zion and the Pelicans going to the playoffs, in which before then they were a couple of games out. So we're gonna see about that. And then, like you said, the legend has to be.
It's got to be Kobe.
Now,
they announce it tomorrow afternoon.
It would be dope if they went on and added Gigi on there too.
That would be.
That would be dope. Suave says, they say I hate on Dame. I mean, he balls out, but only in the regular season. Why not put, really, CJ McCullough? Suave. I mean, I was.
It's like, are we trying to keep on the same team? Is that what that was?
I would say Carmelo then. But no, then at least he shows up. Just my.
Hey, put Carmelo on the cover. What's the worst that can happen to him? Okay.
And then Suave says, why not have Zion on there? He was a talk of the NBA.
He was a talk of the NBA, but he was a talk of the NBA on the sideline. Ja was out there performing every night, out here dunking on top. Ja's a point guard, a 1 and 2 guard. He switches. Zion is big as hell. He's supposed to be dunking on people. Ja was going at centers, and if the dunk would have went in, it would have been highlights for the whole season. He had some monster dunks that just clanked off.
That's true.
If they didn't clank, that would have been money.
Yep.
Ja was balling out, man. It's unfortunate that Zion had to have that surgery, but that's just how life happens. You're not always gonna get what you want, but they gave him the cover. I'm not hating on Zion. He's a freaking creature. I don't know where they found that man at. Down in the swamps of the bayou somewhere. It's like
down in South Kakalaki. And then shouts out to Suzanne.
What's up?
What's going on? Gucci bandana.
What?
Gucci.
Did I miss that?
Yeah,
did I miss something? Okay, I'm gonna let y'all have
A
that.
joke between me, her, and B Baker.
gonna let y'all have that.
Suave said facts, but not a lot of people knew of him. You have to follow the NBA to know him, but no arguments there.
Woo! I wouldn't say that. He put his college on the map, because I would never heard of Murray State if it wasn't for him.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if it is Murray State. Was it Murray State? I think it was Murray State.
Correct.
Sound about right.
Yeah.
Nobody would have known. Nobody would have known. For him to come out of the league as high, or come into the league as high of a pick that he was, and to come from that low tier of a school, that's crazy. Even that alone, Zion went to Duke and then hurt himself
So
in some messed up shoes.
So going back to J.R. Smith, how do you think he'll fit with the Lakers?
Well, first and foremost, I'm pretty sure LeBron and him already sat down and had a talk. Be like, hey, watch the scoreboard.
No,
You do that, we'll be
no
good.
Henny before games.
No Henny, no weed, and stop beating up people, man.
Right.
Even though, granted, the person had it coming. Yeah, he did. So, it's, I feel like there's a chemistry there. They've already got one championship together. It's another veteran presence on the team. The team is definitely getting some good veterans.
Yeah.
Like, they had some tenured players, but they just weren't veterans. They're just tenured. It's the difference between being tenured and being a veteran. So you got another guy who's been around for a minute and knows the game and's got a ring to his name because of LeBron. J.R. Smith. You got Dwight Howard, who was really doing good.
He was.
And you got Anthony Davis, who's becoming a vet in his own right. You got the young guys on the team. You got Bradley, Kuzma, what's his name? Caruso.
Yeah.
Who, if you look at him, he's like, you young, fam?
But
Your head trying to leave. Hey, he'll be balling. He's been balling since G League.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called G League now. It's called the D League again. No, it's the G League. It's a solid team. And I feel like they're gonna do well if this gets underway. That team is probably the most motivated team in the NBA right now.
And then, like you said,
because it's personal, if anything,
and then
this
like
year.
you said, and it's gonna be the toughest road to win a championship ever.
Honestly, because this is weird.
Yeah, unprecedented stuff.
It's like for you to win the championship during all of this. That's like people tend to forget the crazy training that LeBron does in the offseason.
Right, paying over like $1 million to get right.
How long has it been since we've had basketball?
March.
That's like what, 2-3 months?
Yeah.
Ain't that the offseason? Did they just get this man a whole nother offseason to train? Did y'all just gave LeBron a chance to refresh, and they were out there practicing on football fields, and they were playing those pickup games. Yeah, like y'all gave LeBron a whole offseason, and if y'all think he's not finna come through here and dominate like it's game one of the season, it's a wrap. And LeBron is that guy who's gonna tell all his teammates, "Hey, we gonna work out together." Just like what he do that 1 year in the playoffs. Hey, solid color suits. And everybody was like, with pants?
No, and
with pants? Yeah, with pants.
Right.
LeBron shorts.
And also, no social media, because you know how he is when it's playoff mode.
Hey.
No social media throughout the whole playoff.
I think it might be different this year. Because you're not going to have me in the bubble away from my family and no social media? Nah.
So, J.R. Smith, I feel like it's a great move because, as you said before, he provides a veteran presence, someone who's been to the finals, who's been through the pressures. Besides LeBron and Rondo, now I know JaVale McGee won one as well.
Yeah,
but
that's who else on the team. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but and I know Dwight went to a final against Kobe, but you don't have a lot of guys who's been there.
Like and who's been there multiple times.
Exactly.
And has gone through the whole journey to the finals. Like it was he there 15? No, he went to the Cavs in 2016. 16, 17, 18. All 3 of those years straight to the finals. Mm-hmm. Different outcome every year except for those 2 years. So he's got it. He knows what it takes to get there. He knows the mental battle that it is, because a lot of these young cats, they're not prepared for the mental. They always prepare for the physical, but the game has a mental side of it too, which is what I really feel like everybody should learn by watching The Last Dance. Yes. Great series, by the way.
Yes.
It made me happy, then it made me sad all over again. I was like, yeah.
The frustration happened again.
I was like, yes, and I was like, we don't do this no more.
Right, we could have more. But then, outside of J.R. Smith,
yeah,
I forget about this, but they also acquired Deion Waiters. He's the scorer.
They did that right before.
Exactly.
Yeah, they did.
So it's like these guys now. Granted, you lost Avery Bradley because he
has a child coming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they gonna be all right. They should be all right. Suave says JR better not be high again. But that is a great pickup. So most definitely. The NBA says that players can have social justice statements on their jerseys. So you won't see like James or whatever. They can put any kind of statement they want on the back of their jersey.
So that's actually happening.
Yes.
Oh, when I saw it, I thought they were trying to make it a proposal. Be like, players want to have this on the back of their jersey. So they're actually making it. Hey, that's cool.
Yeah. and then on each court.
Shout out to Adam Silver.
He always been on top.
Man,
He always
Adam,
been on top.
look, let me tell you something. He's trying to go down on the right side of commissioner history.
The best ever.
Man, he's trying to. He want to be the best ever. Let Chris Paul go to the Lakers. Just set everything right, and we are good. It's like, there it is.
And then they're also going to have on every court that they play on in Orlando, it's going to have Black Lives Matter on the court.
As it should.
Yeah. Do you feel, and of course everyone who's watching, should they have Black Lives Matter sign or something in every arena, every stadium? Like in baseball, you have it right there, center field. Hockey, you have it.
I feel like
on the ice or something.
You know, for Juneteenth, a lot of, I know MLB inverted their logo, so that the figure was black. I feel like in this moment, everybody should black out their logo, and just like if you have a figure on your logo, well, except for the NFL, they don't have a figure on theirs. But for all the logos with a figure on it, does NHL? No, NHL doesn't either. Dang.
Right.
So for baseball, I mean, you can still black out your logo. I know NHL is already black. NFL could black it out. You know, just stand in solidarity. NFL should be at the forefront of this. Could have been at the forefront of this, but we gonna let that go. No, we not. No, we not. I'm sorry. I really tried. I really tried. Y'all had a chance about 4 years ago to be the spearhead of this, but y'all sided with the fans instead of the people that you pay. You sided with the people that give you money instead of the people that take your money, which are the people who bring in the money that you're valuing. You always value your inner circle first. You take care of your own. That's what you do. That's what the NBA is doing. That's why the NBA is leaps and bounds ahead of all these other sports organizations here, above the NHL, MLB, NFL, because Adam Silver actually took the time to shut up and listen. Mm-hmm. And he, by listening, it's like, okay, I hear you guys. What can we do? He talks with the Players Association. Right. They all talk together. There's no, they're good.
Right.
I'm pretty sure every time he goes in the locker room, they probably dapping him up. Adam Silver, one of the homies. Okay, when you look at Adam Silver, the way he conducts his I don't want to say employees, and I don't want to say subordinates, his co-workers. No, he don't play his people. Damn it. Mm-hmm. His business, his faculty. There we go. Okay. How he works with his faculty compared to how Roger Goodell works with his faculty. Two separate things, which is why the NFL is always in some kind of trouble.
And see, the difference between those two guys is Adam Silver, he pretty much tells the owners what's up. Goodell, he
lets the owner
exactly.
Nah, bro. Silver walk in. Okay, here's what we do. If you don't like it, you can sell your team.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. A couple comments here. Suave, it was pretty much agreeing with everything that you're saying. Okay. Talk about it. Suzanne says NFL sure did had their chance. They didn't want to listen.
Had multiple chances. Man. You could have got behind Kaepernick, Malcolm Jenkins, Richard Sherman, Eric Reed. It was another play on Philadelphia.
You had Malcolm Jenkins.
No, it was another guy too, because there were two guys, and then there was a picture of Chris Long with them as well. Oh, okay. Like it could have, this could have been.
Because matter of fact, I looked at a episode of The Shop, and it was with Malcolm Jenkins was on, and he said him and Anquan Bolden, they started this player coalition right after the whole Kaepernick thing started, in which they started getting other guys to, like 2 or 3 guys from each team to be a part of it, to start raising money and awareness and this and that, until they had issues with it. They had, I think he said, some fractured issues happened. But
I wonder who those issues were with.
Right. Ms. Williams says, right, the NFL could have been leaders. Instead, they're playing catch up. Exactly.
Which, honestly, they still don't have to play catch up. They can jump to the front if they work with the man.
Right.
You ain't got to give him a job.
First, apologize. all out.
Like in a legit apology, not the one they gave.
Hey, we just want to give you apology. No,
I need you to
don't read nothing.
Say that man's name when you say it.
Yeah.
To Colin Kaepernick, we apologize.
Yeah.
That's what we want to hear. Yeah, we wanted to hear the whole "We the NFL condemn racism and the systematic oppression of black people." Yeah, we wanted to hear that. It shouldn't have taken all of your black players to get y'all to say it, by the way. But hey, you gotta lead that damn horse to the water. Make it drink something.
Stan, welcome back, bro.
It's just like
Welcome back, brother. Come on, people. So, going back real quick into the NBA talk before we continue on with this show, because we have a special guest coming up.
Yes, we do.
He's ready to rock. But the NBA, they were talking about this bubble being in Orlando, and I don't know if you saw the episode, but I was pretty much saying that they're gonna have all these amenities. That they can go to Disney World. They'll have a personal VIP service throughout their whole time. They get this, they get games, a DJ, all this kind of stuff.
you submitted to try to go down there and DJ, didn't you?
I tried. But Stephen A brought up something that I didn't think about until he brought it to my attention. So for the first time in sports talk show history, we can do something like this. So just tune in and enjoy.
What we doing?
Here's the reason you gotta be worried. I wanted to hold off on saying this, y'all, but I can't hold it no more. Do we really think that the recreational activities, what these guys are accustomed to, are going to be compromised for 3 months? I mean, somebody's got to say it. Somebody's got to say it. You really, really think that people are going to be without their wives or their woman? Okay? I mean, the guys that are married without their wives, the guys that ain't married without their women. You really, really think they honoring a bubble for 3 months and are going to deprive? Somebody got to tell the truth.
Stephen A., they've set up ping pong tournaments.
They're allowed to bring their significant other down there after a month.
Scheduled.
Hey, listen, after a month, I just said forget 3 months. They gonna struggle with 3 weeks. Why you think they won in Vegas? Listen, can we stop? Can we stop? The issue right now is that you in Orlando for the first month. You got to be alone.
Stephen A., what are they going to do? Smuggle in women in birthday cakes? How do you think they're getting them in there?
Hey, listen. I'm not ruling out anything, Max. Anything's possible.
Hey, Max,
I mean, let's just call it what it is. Let's just call it what it is. Somebody got to tell the truth, man. Somebody got to listen. I'm not. No. I'm not. Please don't get me wrong. I would never do that. I'm not implying that anything's salacious. I mean, like I said, if you're married, I'm talking about your wife. If you're single, I'm talking about your girl. The only point that I'm trying to make here is you asking dudes to go weeks.
No.
Without. And I'm just saying, that's
Molly.
a challenge.
Molly, can I make one quick point, Molly? Can I make one quick point, Molly?
Somebody gotta say.
What are your thoughts on Stephen A?
Hey, I ain't think about that. I'm like, ooh.
Like, he has a point.
3 months?
No ooh-wee?
Nothing? Dang. At first, when he was like, went out there recreational activities, I was like, what, the weed? Because I'm like, aren't they still saying that they're not drug testing throughout all this?
Right.
Man, oh, damn, they're not drug testing. J.R. Smith might have been a bad move. Oh.
So we have a comment from, I don't know who this is yet, WLP84, put on here Jason Tatum. So let us know who you are, WLP84, so we can show love to you.
I wonder if he's talking about in reference to the cover.
Oh, yeah.
Because, yes, that would have been lit.
That'd be great, especially for the Lou. Oh,
man, oh, that's going to be everywhere. Billboards, release party. Come to the release party at the marquee.
Shouts out to Edward.
The players already made. Players ready to go. Be like, hey, so I'm finna be in Florida. You know, 3 months, but we get a month. So make sure you
just tell them you came to see Tim. And they
get your spend the month bag.
Hey, shouts out to you, Sosa, man. Once again, this is the Platform Sports Talk Show. Yours truly, along with
Stan, baby.
He's back, y'all.
Yeah.
But he's back, and he's coming with them facts. Got a fire show. More news, man. What were your thoughts when you saw on your phone?
Okay, let me tell you something. I already know what you... When I saw it, I was like, are you sick?
Tell everybody.
I just want to know how this man keep on doing stuff like this.
Who you talking about?
I'm talking about Bill Belichick, people. if you aren't aware, if you've been living under a rock for the past 3-4 days, Cam Newton is now the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots. Huh?
How, Sway?
When I tell you, I was uneased. I was stuck. I was conflicted. I was like, all right, cool. Cam's back, but what? When's the last time? I ain't never. Well, one time. But other than that one time, I ain't never seen a black quarterback out in New England. And I...
Well, Jacoby Brisket.
Yes, for that brief time. I'm conflicted because it's like, that's a good setup for Cam. It's a good defense. You got Julian Edelman. You got the other receivers. You got St. Michel and them still in the backfield. Plus, Cam is a mobile threat himself.
And I was going to say, a healthy Cam on last year's Patriots team probably would have been further than what they did last year.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And so, like you said, they're just changing out Brady, in which the older Brady, not the in his prime Brady, but the older Brady.
Trading out older Brady.
And now you adding this guy in, and like you said, being under Belichick, will that change?
You are giving Belichick's creative mind a jack of all trades. He could run it or he could throw it.
So with that being said, let's say you are, for some strange reason, you are Bill Belichick. How would you play Cam Newton? Would you tell him, do your thing like Lamar Jackson and Mahomes, or, you know what I'm saying, try to stay more in the pocket? Like a McNabb a little bit more, or, you know, other quarterbacks like that.
Cam Newton has a great eye for defense. He studies. Let Cam be Cam. Let him study. You remember that video that's been going around crazy with him and Clay Matthews? Let him study. It's like, you've been studying film too. Me too. Watch this. And then it's like, you know, he'll call something and it'll flip around. Cam studies. Cam is a student of the game. He loves the game. He dedicates his all to it. He is going to be in great hands. I never thought I'd say this. He's going to be in great hands with Bill Belichick as a coach. It's like, this might be what Cam needs, and damn it, that's what they gave Bill to keep this reign of oppression in the NFL going. And I'm sick of it. I wonder how the Patriots fans are going to feel. Because they in Boston. Boston don't like black folk.
Right. I mean, outside the Celtics players, like, you know, Kevin.
And now, outside of Cam Newton.
Right.
So, you know.
So I would say Buffalo is going to destroy him.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I don't know. But the AFC East, you know, once they saw Brady leave, they was like, oh, yeah, now it's up for the taking. But now that Cam's there, if he's healthy.
Hey, if you got a healthy Cam on the Patriots team.
Because how much more will he make his teammates better knowing that he won't have to be in the pocket like Brady?
Man, that's what's crazy.
Yeah.
So now, you know, every team that has played against the Patriots who was so used to Tom Brady's play, you got to get used to Cam.
Oh, do me a favor. You can actually step back a little bit from the microphone.
Oh, my
bad.
You
go. Some people were saying that you like up here, so you like kind of distorted. So
my bad.
Because it picks up so excellent anyway. So
yeah. This one of the good microphones. My bad.
There you go. We all good. We got you. Thank you very much, Chico. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
But yeah, so keep on going with your analysis.
So it's just, where was I at?
Just pretty much talking about be him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like just give Cam freedom to do what he's been doing. Of course, build your playbook to adapt to your quarterback, but then also, like, don't change a lot of things because a lot of the plays that they usually run, they're effective.
Question from Sosa. He says, quick question, bro. Who would you take, the Fab Five or 1990 UNLV? I would say UNLV because they actually won, I believe. Fab Five, great team. Great team.
Man, great team.
But that team wasn't able to go over the hump.
Which is sad.
That UNLV team was that was like the Larry Johnson and Stacey Augmon team back in the day.
Yeah, but that Fab Five though,
it was incredible. But like I said, when they
didn't get the, they didn't fully deliver.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we're going off of that, then yeah, the 1990 UNLV team. But if we're just going off of like greatness of the team, then you got to go Fab Five.
Yeah. Got a comment from my boy Miko. He's the one who told me about your voice.
Oh, okay.
It says LJ, Larry Johnson. There it is.
Larry Johnson.
Miko, Miss Williams is also on here as well. So got some cool peoples here. Says
Chris Webber, though, if he could learn how to count. Y'all rude. That's rude.
If you knew how many timeouts you had, huh?
Timeout. We out.
Man, I wonder if people like bring that up around him and like how does he act? Because I think just seeing how he is, like how he had a grudge with Michigan for so long, he seemed like to be the type that is very, very, very sensitive.
Like Mike.
Very, very sensitive. Like, don't bring up certain things around him or he might just flip out.
Like Mike with Isaiah Thomas?
Yep. Miko says, let you tell it. So, yeah. Cam Newton once again go to the Patriots. I
was indifferent about that.
Alice says, yes, I recognize his rapper name, which is John Doe. There it is.
There goes John Doe.
They announced earlier today that they will only have a 2-week preseason, not the number 4 in the NFL, but they're going to have this 2-week preseason if everything is still official. 2 weeks.
We getting close to that week
right.
preseason.
Right. Sosa says they brought it up in the movie Uncle Drew. And then she said he did a wonderful rap for Witherword's Parallel. This was up Witherword, which is her son. Another longtime friend of mine, Eddie Williams, and his band. Incredible. They travel around the country, having tours in different spots of the country, go overseas and do their own thing. Make sure y'all follow them on all on social media sites as well. But yeah, 2-week preseason. And then Colin Kaepernick is going to get a Netflix special.
Yeah, well, Ava DuVernay.
Yeah, something
I think I said it right. Ava DuVernay. It's like a 6-part series.
Yeah, pretty much.
Talking about his childhood.
Yeah, so that should be interesting for him, man.
Which, it's like, if somebody offered Cap a contract, you think he's taking it?
Yes, because he still wants to play.
Man,
he wants to play, and I think things are slowly lining up for that to happen finally. Now, unfortunately, and I said this last week, I believe, but unfortunately, it had to take what happened with George Floyd to wake up more businesses, more sports, more, of these high-price owners, etc. Mm-hmm. But the death of George Floyd has changed a lot of perception, finally. But it shouldn't have taken all of that.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But I really think Kaepernick will finally make a return. So, with that being said, now it's time for Stan to bring on the guest. Let me make sure I get him on first. And
we are now moving to the smooth jazz portion of the evening. No.
John Doe says he got to get over it in regards to Chris Webber. Says Chris Webber ain't as sensitive as a certain wide receiver. Antonio Brown. Brown is a 10. Webber is a 6.
Antonio Brown ain't even did nothing lately. Why y'all just bringing him up?
Suave says, quick question. Can y'all find Kirk Cousins and Bobby Bonilla's agents? Hey, also add Darren Williams. Because as of yesterday, Darren Williams had his last paycheck from the Brooklyn Nets. He's getting like 15,000 like a day or something like that. Yeah, I had a post on our page yesterday that as of yesterday, he finally received the last paycheck from the Nets.
Oh yeah, the Nets just made some bad decisions.
So I'm like, man, you need to give me that agent that he has and Bobby Bonilla, because that's ridiculous. And then so I've also said Kirk Cousins. So that means Kirk Cousins getting paid from his former team and still getting that dough and not even. Oh, you know what? Add Mike Leake to that also, former corner pitcher. Even though he's with Arizona, he's still getting paid some money too from the Cardinals because they traded him before his contract ended, and the team that he got traded to didn't take all his contract from the Cardinals. Bobby Bonilla, $1.5 million until he's 71 years old. He still got like 20, 30 some more years of that contract that he has to get. So that's crazy. But without any further ado, Stan, let's go ahead and introduce our special guest.
Ladies and gentlemen, this weekend on the Platform Sports Talk Show, well, every week on the Platform Sports Talk Show, there are guests after guests after guests. It's going to be a lot of people, okay? So, but this week, it's a little special. It's a little family business. If I can say anything about this man, the one thing that I will say, because I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble if I don't say it, he has an amazing wife. Shout out to my cousin Adrian. Hey, what's going on? But let me get into this young man right here, coming out of Mobile, Alabama, star football player at the University of Alabama in Birmingham. Drafted by the New York Giants back in 2012. He played for a few teams, and then he came home. Well, not home for him, but home for me. He was the first lineman pick overall in the XFL for the St. Louis Battlehawks. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to offensive lineman extraordinaire, Matt McCants.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, man? How y'all doing, fellas?
Man, doing good. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, man. Definitely blessings to be able to be a part of your guys' show, man. I'm, just so humbly thankful to be a part of you guys' show. Especially with everything that's going on in the world, man.
Yes, sir.
It's good to have times like this to, be able to speak and, say what's up and, speak what's on our minds,
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up, man. And we already have our first Battlehawk comment. Caw!
Man, I'm gonna tell you, man. Just being in the city, man, being in St. Louis, man, it was so good because the fans were just so welcoming. Every chance we got, man, every time we were on the field, man, it just showed how much the city of St. Louis, loves sports. And it's a sports town, and it was just awesome to be a part of that.
That's what's up, man.
It was awesome to have y'all here, man.
Right. I'm definitely going to ask you a lot of questions about your time with the Battlehawks. We have a comment from Miss Alice Williams. She says, I was really sorry to see the XFL fold. I was hoping to catch a Battlehawks game someday. Hey, we were too.
Nah.
We had plans. We had plans. I don't know if you've seen our show already, the beginning part of our show in which we had our intro. But one of the scenes was the very last home game that y'all had at the time, which was against Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
We shot a commercial, and that's actually where I met your wife. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I met her, Stan introduced me and everything, and it was our first time going to.
She ain't recognize me, and I get it now because I saw had on a hood, a hat, and sunglasses. Like when I had, when I had all that going on, I was like, you know what? I can understand why she didn't know who I was. I was like, let me take off all of this, looking like I'm trying to creep up. Like, I got you. No, that wasn't the case. It was like, hey, cuz,
And we've heard so much about the atmosphere prior to the game. and it definitely remind me of the old, the old days of that team that we had here a while back, in which it was great, a great scene. Going down there, seeing all the tailgating, etc., and it was a lot of life that happened when the Battlehawks came. Like St. Louis fell in love with the Battlehawks.
Really did, man.
Really did, man. So we had our commercial shoot there. It was a fun time. It was cold, but we had a good time.
It
was windy.
Yeah, it was very windy.
It was windy, but it was a fun atmosphere. It was that football weather.
Yeah.
Miko says the team that won't be mentioned.
Yeah.
Exactly. That team.
Yeah.
That team. So
even though we mentioned them on here.
Right. We did. So we know that you are cousins.
Yeah.
Right? You understand? So do y'all have a nice close knit relationship?
They in Alabama, fam. Like I be trying.
Yeah, man. That's big cousin, man. He's definitely, man. Part of the fam. And with anybody, man. I always appreciate people showing love and fam. I always said, man, fam. Blood makes you relatable. What you do and how you treat people, man, and being there for people, that's what makes you family. So, Stan, man, you definitely a big dog, big dog OG.
Yes, sir.
Now wait a minute, Matt. You're 6'5".
Yeah, you heard him. You heard him say it. I'm big dog OG. You heard him say it. You heard him say it.
It's the big cousin.
You heard him say it.
You big dog OG. Hey. It's all about how you is on the inside.
There it is. There it is.
Y'all don't want it, no.
So let's Jewish League. No.
Hey, don't give me. Hey, Matt, they be giving me problems about my sport upbringing. Yeah, everybody was at the Boys and Girls Club. Look, I stayed in a different part of town. I played at the Jewish Community Center. Okay, football wasn't offered for obvious reasons. So we just had basketball. They were like, well, we know we're not going to get into football, but basketball might be the one. So, I played my little heart out for the Phoenix Suns affiliate, and they keep giving me flack about it. Let me tell you something. Y'all ain't want to see me on the court. Y'all ain't want to see me. Rebound machine. Not before Dennis Rodman, because he older than me. Dennis Rodman on the court in Phoenix.
There you go.
There it is. So let's take it all the way back, man. This is what I do with all of my guests, man. We had to go all the way back to when you was a kid. When did you develop your love for sports?
It was always there. But for me, my very first love was definitely the band, man. I was in a band pretty much, my whole, high school, middle school, elementary school type career. And so that was pretty much my first love. And, I always played outside, basketball, played baseball, but I never played football. And the reason was because my mom, she wanted me to play. She was afraid I was going to get hurt or, get it, I don't know. I don't know what she was thinking, but she didn't let me play. So, I was in a band, and finally it came down to my senior year. And, everybody had been begging me to, play. And, I was the biggest dude in school, and, everybody wanted me to go out and play, but I had to convince my mom to, let me play. And so how I did that, I went into her one day. I told her that if I was to make all A's on my next report card, that she would let me play. And, and she agreed. And so I just worked my butt off to, get all A's and finally got out there.
That's what's up. So,
but my very first practice though, because she didn't want me to get hurt. I go out there, giddy. I hadn't played football ever, so by the time you get to senior year, everybody had been playing since they were 4 and 5, so I had no idea what I was doing. So my very first play out there, I break my arm.
Oh.
Not knowing how to block or do anything. And so
that's it.
It's dang, that's the first. Yep. All right. You ain't never gonna hear the end of that. It's bad when it's like you prove them right in the most dramatic way. It's like, you broke your arm? Oh, you ain't never hearing the end of that.
So it was definitely a big I told you so, but, I just kept with it, man, and, was just really, just trying to stay out there and be, with my friends and, prove everybody that I could do it, and so it was just one of those, funny things, how everything happened type ideas.
So what was that moment in which you was able to finally win her over?
Sure. It wasn't until way later on, because she wouldn't come to none of my games. She wouldn't come to watch me practice. She was always afraid I was gonna get hurt. But what happened was, after I broke my arm, I kept playing, but I wasn't starting. And so my whole thing, I was just happy being out there, and I had a jersey, I had help, doing the pep rallies, they get your name called out and stuff. So I was happy to be a part of that. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't until probably like the 7th game of the season. I hadn't played all year, and I was on the sidelines, and we were playing our rivals, and we go down and score, and the guy that's playing my position, he does like, how you jump up, chest bump, we just scored.
Right.
He comes down, and he tears up his knee.
Oh.
Boom. So, the whole time I had been on the sideline, cheering on the team. I just heard the coach say, McCants, get in. Uh-oh. I had no idea what my helmet was. My shoes weren't tied up. So it was just a big shock, man. But when I went in there, I had just, been practicing the whole time. So I was nervous. But I eventually settled down and, I just trusted, what I had been doing the whole time in practice. And it was just history after that.
And I saw that, is that born and raised in Alabama? Is that correct?
I'm born and raised in Alabama.
So, yeah, you definitely had to have a little football bread in you, man, being that state, right?
Yeah, a little bit. But it was awesome, man. And I just, like I said, I just wanted to, be out there with my friends, man, and, just have a good time. Just really enjoy playing. And I just, everything happened for a reason, I feel like.
That's what's up. And everyone who's watching, please feel free to give out your comments so we can go ahead and ask Big Matt McCants, former NFL lineman, XFL lineman, doing big things right now on the platform Sports Talk Show. So, what high school did you attend?
I went to Williams High School in Mobile, home of the Lions.
All right. So, is that for those who are not aware? Is that a well-known football school or just
sports no doubt,
school?
Man. I was really blessed, man, to have some, great players in front of me, man. Marcus Russell was the #1 pick out of high school. We had Nick Fairley, Tony Coleman. We had a bunch of guys that, went on and played. And I was just blessed to be around those guys, just being able to fit in.
So, outside of football, did you play any other sports while in high school?
No, not in high school, but middle school I played baseball. That was definitely a big love of mine. I pretty much I wanted to play baseball, but things happened. But it was just fun being a kid back in the day, man. Try to play as much stuff.
What was your position?
First base. I wanted to be. Like Mark McGuire, like Frank Thomas,
the Big Hurt.
Big
first name was
Mark
McGuire.
What I'm
saying? Yeah, that's what's up. Hey, I'm pretty sure when you did play, they didn't have any issue trying to throw it your way because you can probably pick up everything. It was
man,
I had nothing.
Nah, I was pretty good, man. But it was then being one of the biggest kids out there, man, they were always. My age would always come into question, so my mom and dad had to carry my birth certificate around, that type of thing. So it was cool, man.
So pretty much throughout your whole time in high school, you always were like a dominant figure.
Yeah, no doubt.
So when you came to high school, how tall were you then? Your freshman year?
Same height, 6'6".
Woo!
So yeah, you can see why everybody wanted me to play football. I mean. Coaches would harm me every day. It was almost kind of like I had to run from them a little bit. I'd be walking to the cafeteria, you see the coach coming, you already knew what he was going to say.
So, man, that's crazy. Come in 6'6".
Just every day in the cafeteria. Big Matt, let me holler at you.
Yeah.
Come on, sign
up.
But
I mean, by the time I got to my senior year, man, I got tired of it, man, because I'm going to tell you, the worst thing a big person can hear, man, is that you big for nothing.
Oh.
You big for nothing, man. You carrying that horn around, and so I heard all that, man. And I was like, all right, I gotta play football now. I'm tired of it. I just, at least get them off my back.
So was that pretty much your driving motivation to be the man?
I mean, I just wanted to, show that I belong, and well, anything I always did, and still to this day, it was just always about respect, man, and I just wanted to be respected in whatever I was doing, and, just be taken seriously, because when I first went out there, everybody was like, oh, you can't do it, and, you're in a band, and you should quit, and especially, after I broke my arm the first day, it just ramped up even more. But, anytime you go through something that's hard, I feel like it makes you better as a person when you come out of it, and then anybody ever, heard the old saying, whatever don't kill you makes you stronger. And so sometimes we just got to go through these bumps and bruises in life to come out better, when we came in. And, and God has a reason for doing everything, breaking my arm, me waiting till the last minute to play football, all that shapes you and allows you to be a better person.
There it is. And how was the recruiting process? Because, well, before that, when did you finally get that mindset, like, you know what, I have a chance to actually do some very big things and go to a big college? When did you finally figure that out?
It wasn't until the end, man, because during the process, you come out your junior. I came out my junior year for spring ball. I hadn't played football my whole life, and obviously everybody was like, "Oh, that's a big kid," but I was so raw, and so, of course I was getting noticed, but as far as like scholarship offers and all that stuff, that didn't happen until I could prove that I could play. And during that time, me of not playing and being on the bench, I just wanted to prove to my peers that I belonged, if that makes sense, man. Yeah. Because when I first got out there, it was hard. I had no background in football. I had no idea of technique. I didn't know what I was doing, but I didn't let that deter me. And every day after practice, man, I would stay later, working on my craft. I would ask older guys, little tips and stuff, because I was never shy about asking. If I didn't know anything and I wanted to learn something, I just ask a question, and I just kept little mental notes, and I always was just applying for my opportunity, because everybody forgets that we pray for these opportunities, and we ask God to put us in the right spots and the positions, but if we're not prepared when it happens, then it don't make no sense, because I feel like we got to be prepared and we got to be ready for when that moment comes. We can't just sit up like, oh man, I never play, or whatever, because God's in control and you never know. So we got to do our part. And so behind the scenes, man, I was just making sure that if I ever did get a chance to play, I'll be ready. And lo and behold, 7th game of the season, I'm on the sideline. A freaky accident happens, and I'm thrust in. And so I had to be ready to go. And so it was just one of those faith things, man, that, God ordained everything happened, but I had to do my part on my end.
There it is. You have a question, Stan?
Because I just need to know, in your time that you've been playing, you've played for a few teams. I just want to know which team, outside of the team that drafted you, because, that's always first level, because they gave you the chance. Which team was your favorite team to play on?
My favorite team to play on by far was the Raiders, man. It was just such a cool experience to playing Oakland, playing in the black hole, the colors, black and silver, the tradition that they had, and all the great players that played before me, and it was just a real deal type family environment that it was just awesome. And I had some great coaches. Rest in peace, Tony Sperano. He was my offensive line coach and eventually my head coach there. And he really took me up under his wing, man, because when I got drafted by the Giants, I'm still raw, and so I only played 1 year high school football. I went to UAB, which wasn't the best program at the time when I went there, and so it was definitely a big learning curve. And when I got to New York, it was a blessing because they had just won the Super Bowl. I came the year after they won the last Super Bowl, and and I was just able to see, from a business standpoint, how to be a professional, and and how to carry myself, and how to prepare. And when I went to Oakland, I was just able to really apply, everything that I had learned up to that point, because it was almost like, okay, now the reins is off. Now it's time to, really, catch a stride. And so I was really fortunate enough in Oakland to really hit my stride at a great time.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And explain to us the recruiting process that you had to go through during your senior year, or maybe you was a sophomore, junior.
Yeah, so I was a senior when I first got my first recruiting letter, and it was just crazy. It was almost overnight. I went from no letters and no chance of getting a scholarship or being recruited to, man, I have 20 colleges offering me scholarships at one time.
Wow.
And it was just pretty much all overnight, man, because like I said, I didn't play in my 7th game of the season, and I was raw, and I really had no idea what I was doing out there. I was just trying to survive. But what happened was, the next game we played one of our rivals, and the defensive end that I was going with was one of the top recruits in the country. He had just signed to go to Arkansas, and a lot of people were at the game watching him, and all the reports that were coming out was like, oh man, this guy's gonna have a great game. This kid, he's going against, hadn't played football. He was in the band, so everybody was pretty much counting me out. And so I just took that as a challenge. Even though I hadn't played, even though I wasn't, I feel like ready, I had to step up, because as a man, when somebody challenges you to do something, it's either two things: you either gonna get down or you gonna lay down. And so, in my mind, I was like, okay, shoot, you gonna have to kill me out here, if you think it's gonna be like that. So, and I really had a good game, and after that game, it just kind of took off, man. So, I was fortunate enough to have a few scholarships offered in different places, and just prayed about it, me and my family, and chose UAB.
So was there a moment in which, after you saw those letters, you was like, "Ma, I told you so"?
Yeah, and it was just cool, man, because I had never experienced anything like it, man. It was, you got people, being recruited is almost like you the prettiest girl in school, and everybody trying to date you, and they wine and dining you, they telling everything, you want to hear, and that. So it was definitely a cool process to go through, man, and they're definitely blessed and fortunate, to be able to, have that opportunity to do that.
So wait a minute, because he just brought up something I just want to go ahead and address. So are you saying, during your time in high school, because I know you said the senior year was when things are really popping off with the letters, but like you said, in regards to the ladies, okay, the ladies, they see something hot, you know what's happening. So
hey, brother, that's my cousin husband. Back off.
Hey, but this is in the past. So, so did you have to pretty much decipher? Okay, she real, she ain't. She just want me for because I'm a big star.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, man. Because everybody telling you so many things. Everybody telling you, you the best thing since sliced bread, and we want you at our school. And so, the biggest thing is you want to find out, what's real and whether I really feel, comfortable in it. Because it's one thing to say things, but it's when you go to that school and you're around the coaches and you feel the vibe, you feel how the other players are talking about the coaches, and the most important thing is what is the school going to offer me as far as my education and how can it help? How will it help me in the future? When football is over with, can I take what I've learned at this school and apply? It was just certain things that I wanted to make sure that I took care of, and I feel like UAB addressed all those.
Right.
Boom, wrap around.
So you said that you was pretty raw, didn't have all of the technique right at the time. Who would you credit that helped you elevate your game to that different level?
I mean, I really was blessed, man, because it took a whole village. I was that raw. It took multiple hands on to really kind of mold me, man. And the biggest thing that I did was just listen, man. I took from a lot of people. I was fortunate enough my senior year, Willie Anderson, who played for the Bengals for a long time, who finished with the Ravens, he had a offensive line camp at the local high school. At the local stadium in Mobile, and I was able to go there and learn technique and I was still raw, man. And I just kept learning. I kept learning. When I went to UAB, one of the reasons that I chose UAB was my head coach. He was a famous offensive line coach for a long time, coached a lot of players. My position coach, he was a great offensive line coach. So I was just fortunate enough to be around people who really just helped me and gave me a lot of knowledge, if that makes sense.
We have a comment from Miss Williams. And Miko, I'm going to save your question for when we get into the NFL. But Miss Williams has on here, earlier you were speaking about, how certain things didn't happen your way at a certain time. But at the end of the day, God saw it at his time. So she says, that's why sometimes we don't get what we ask for God, right away. God is preparing us for it and won't give it to us until the time is right.
Yeah, exactly, man. Because God, He's all knowing, man, and He knows what'll happen if He gives it to you, too early. Something, tragic could happen, man. You're not ready for it, and he just wants you to be ready. And it's tough when you're going through it because it just feels like forever. Like, oh, we want it right now. We want everything right now. But we always got to realize that delay is not denial. Even when it's not the time that we want it to, eventually it'll happen. And when it does happen, man, you be ready for it.
Right. So what made you decide to go to the University of Alabama Birmingham?
My cousin, I don't know.
well, the biggest thing was, at the time, my mom and dad, they weren't in the best of health, and so I always wanted to stay close to them, and I always wanted them, come up to my games and be there because I had offers to go, Purdue and all these places out of state, which was cool. But it's nothing like having your family in the stands supporting you, being able to, take a trip home, when you get a little break and, see your family. So that was a big reason why I chose UAB, man, because it was just, I'm big on family. I'm big on, support and being there for people. And so I just always wanted to keep that close to me.
And that is a HBCU, is that correct?
No, it's a PWI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it was good, man. I had some offers to go to HBCUs, man. It was cool. I had, the whole pretty much SWAC conference, offered me a scholarship, and it was just a blessing, man. Like I said, I had so much coming at me at one time. I didn't know what I was doing. Somebody will ask, a team, a coach, or somebody will, come and say, hey, you want to come to this and that? I'm like, yeah, I want to come. I'm thinking, I not knowing that, saying I want to come and like committing, and so I probably decommitted like 5 times, not knowing what I was doing. So it was cool, man.
So your overall experience at UAB, how would you describe it?
It was a blessing, man. My first year, like I said, I'm fresh out the band, and it was pretty much kind of like everybody, was like, hey, man, we got a raw kid. He's gonna be good. Let's take our time with him. And so when I first got on campus, man, I was pretty much 5th on the depth chart. I was way at the bottom. And so, pretty much, wrote off. But, I had never started before in my life. And I was used to being on the bench. And, and so it was nothing for me to just keep working and, keep my head down. And so when we went through training camp, man, we had like 4 or 5 guys get hurt, man. Ooh. I'm talking about like right down to my boom, one right up to the other. And so that whole time I just kept working. And eventually, by the time that the first game started, I was the starter because I had, just kept working. I stayed healthy. I kept grinding. And by the time we played Michigan State, which was our first game, I was a starter. I was the only starter that was a freshman to be able to, start. And so it was just a blessing, man.
That's what's up. This is the Platform Sports Talk Show. Your boy Smooth, along with
Stan, babe.
And on the line we have special guest
Big Matt McCants
There
in the
it is.
building.
He got it. He got it in now.
Yeah, hey, I was a little late, but hey, never late.
He was like, y'all gonna do it? Oh, nope, me? Okay.
There we go. Hey.
Hey, so next time I do it, you already know what's happening.
Yeah, yes, sir.
All right, so that's college. Now you said that you played a different sport also in college, or was that just the band?
No, I was just in the band in college. Yeah, in college I pretty much did football whole time. And then my senior year, I actually cause I had finished all my core classes. I was set to graduate and this and that, and so I was just trying to buy my time, with something kind of fun to do, and so I ended up taking up theater. And yeah, so I was always one of the, I consider myself one of the funniest people in school, and I always like to joke, and I always like play around, do skits and stuff. So I really just really had fun with it, man. And actually was able to do some plays, and actually got cast in and was the head in one of the plays. So it was a cool little experience.
Shoot, that kind of runs in y'all family then, huh? Because
yeah, man, that's how me and my wife actually met, man. She was a theater major, I was a theater minor.
Dope.
And we both auditioned for this play, and I ended up getting a part. She didn't, but we became good friends, and just grew from there. Cause
we were friends.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh wow!
You gotta have something in common, man.
Oh wow!
Y'all gotta be able to have fun, man.
Got to
enjoy each other, man. Because relationships, man, that's what it is. It's not just about sex or whatever. It's about being there for each other. Knowing what that person's thinking. Knowing and feeling how that person feels. If that makes sense.
How proud of you, man, of your little big cousin doing what he's doing right now, man, with poetry and singing and everything, man. I'm proud of you, man, about standing.
Yeah, man. I'm pretty proud, man. I'm super proud that he's a cool dude, man, who goes for his dreams and does what he needs to go out there and do, man. Because at the end of the day, you got to take control of your own life, man. You got to live. When it's all said and done, man, we all die. God gonna ask us, what did we do with our time on earth, man? And so, you got to take a charge of your life and do what you love to do. Because if you don't, you're not really living, man. So I'm just proud of him for, picking a path and choosing it and going with it.
There was this one time. It was about 2 years ago. We went down there for Aunt Cookie's 90th birthday. Towards the end, I think Cuz was trying to challenge me to a singing contest. And I was just trying to figure out where this was coming from. And I ain't gonna lie. He held his own. I was like, okay. I was like, all right. I hear you, bro. He just started randomly singing 5 Steps by Drew Hill. I don't even think that was a song we agreed upon.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, another thing about me, man, I'm super competitive, man. And I remember, my wife was just like, yeah, man, he can sing. I said, oh, okay, what? Ooh, it was just like a battle right there.
He was like, right now. I'm like, what's up? Yeah, and then it got shut down because if we stayed any longer, we would have had to start paying for the room. We were like, yeah, we ain't doing that. So we had to get out of there quickly.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was cold that day. I was like, why is it so cold in Alabama? It was like icy. It was 2 years ago when that big bad ice storm went through Kentucky and all that, and they weren't ready for it. We had to drive right through that. It was crazy.
I definitely remember that. It was cold.
Man.
So, Big Matt, man, you were drafted 6th round, selection 201 by the New York Giants. Now, when I've asked this question to previous professionals that we've had on the show, the responses their experiences, should I say, hasn't been that great during the draft process. Like, for instance, we had last week, Big Jahadi White, Chris Carrawell, Lauren Woods. Before that, we had Bishop Butler by Note. He went to Ohio State, then got drafted to, I believe, the Panthers at the time. And they all said that their draft experience wasn't the best. How about for you?
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely an experience, man, because like I said, when you get drafted in the 6th round, pick 201, that's 200 picks that went in front of you, and so you glued into the TV the whole time. and you just praying, man, that, you know, hey, man, I hope my name be called. Pray my name be called, man. And so as the days and the picks were going on, man, it was that doubt started creeping in, man. I like to call it the devil, man. The devil wants to creep into your mind, and he wants to, you know, put things in your head that, oh, man, see, I told you weren't going to get drafted, and I told you this and that. So it was pretty nerve-wracking, man. But I was fortunate enough, man, to have my wife on my side, to have my family around me, you know, just always supporting. And I'm gonna tell you, so the devil gets so loud, man. Even that started getting on my nerves, man. I had to get away, and so what I did was I went outside and I got in my car, and I just, you know, went for a drive, man. And I just started praying. I said, God, you know, please, man, I just want to be able to be a part of something, and I want, I don't want to let nobody down. That was my big thing, because I felt like if I didn't get drafted or if I didn't make it, that I was letting people down. And I just started praying. I kid you not, as soon as I got through praying, man, the phone rang. It was Tom Coughlin with the New York Giants.
Wow.
And said, hey, man, we just drafted you, man. So it was just a blessing, man. I was just so overjoyed because, you know, God is real, man. He answers prayers, and he knows when it comes through when you need him, man. 'Cause I feel like I was at the breaking point, man. I was sitting there, that one little tear had rolled down like this L on Glory. I was just like, man, you know. And so, but when it happened, man, I was just so happy, man, and everybody was happy. It was just a blessing. So I tell you, man, going through that, it was humbling experience. But at the end of the day, man, it was so worth it, and it was just such a blessing.
Quick question: before you became a UAB alum, I just want to know, growing up, what was the college team you paid attention to down there? I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but just to confirm, because there were a lot of options.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, man. I wasn't really big on football, you know, growing up. So my favorite, you know, school to watch was the University of Southern, man. I was in the band, and they had the best band, in my opinion, at the time. And I was just always, you know, wow, man, what's Southern doing? I'm watching the tubas. I played the tubas. And so I always wanted to, you know, try to find a new tuba song to play or this and that. And so it was definitely, it was all about the bands, man, when I was growing up. Drumline was on repeat in my house. I watched Drumline probably 200 times, you know, trying to do that stuff. So,
that boy was on the tuba.
Man. Yeah.
All right, Matt, so I got to ask, now that I know that, they had you in sweatpants or they had you in the band pants? Come on.
I was in the band pants.
Oh, snap. Yeah, 2 men in the band pants. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I won that big. But it was some guys that did have to have the sweatpants though.
Man.
Wow. But yeah, pretty much growing up in Alabama, man, it's either Alabama or Auburn, and so you gotta they make you pick, man. So I guess growing up, I had to pick Alabama or something because they would come to your school and, you know, do the face paint and all that stuff. And you had to choose. It was Auburn or Alabama.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, just if you don't mind, just go through the conversation that you had with Tom Coughlin when he told you that you about to be in.
Yeah, man, it was definitely a blessing, man. I was sitting there, he called, and the first thing he said, man, and Coach Coughlin, if anybody ever, you know, had a chance to meet, he's one of the funniest dudes you can ever meet. He comes out so serious, man.
Right.
He's definitely a character, man, as far as, you know, his humor. And so he called me, and I had ran in my 40, I had ran maybe like a 5.3. And so first thing he says, man, hey, we drafted you. We know you're not secretary. You know, we know you're not secretary, but we really like how you play football, man. So and it was just a blessing, man. And he was just one of the best coaches you can ever have as far as like a young person coming into the league trying to figure out, you know, okay, how do I be a professional? How do I, you know, be a professional football player and handle myself day-to-day basis? Because the biggest difference between the NFL and college is, you know, now being an NFL, now you're on your own. You know, you don't have, you know, coaches on your back every day. You don't have advisors making sure you go to class and stuff. You don't. It's none of that. So it's definitely, you know, you got to be a man at that point and, you know, handle your business in a certain way. So and he was big on respect. He was big on being 5 minutes early to meetings, you know, and just having those type of values and things instilled in you at an early age, man. It really just helped my career, man. And when I was able to go different places, I was still able to, you know, apply those certain techniques that he instilled in us.
And then what's crazy is that, as you said before, he was fresh off of winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they was definitely fresh off, man, and I had just beat New England again, and it was just a cool time, man. But I had to come and earn my right to be a part of that, you know. And so it was definitely cool, man. And I'm gonna tell you so. But when a team wins a Super Bowl, even if you get that the next year, man, they still treat you like a Super Bowl champion, man. We would go places, and you know, meals would get comped, and you know, seating that wasn't available. I was the Giants in here. Seats just start opening up. So it was definitely cool, man. It was definitely cool to be a part of that, man, and you know, to see how, you know, what it's like to be considered a winner, you know, and they always said, man, when you win in New York, man, there's no place like it, man. That is true.
But now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you never played a down in the NFL with the Giants. Is that correct?
No, I mean, not in the regular season. No, I was my first year I was on the practice squad, and the second year I ended up going to Oakland, you know, and they wanted me back on the practice squad because, like I said, I was still young. I was still raw, still had, you know, figuring my way out, but I was getting better each day, man. And they really enjoyed me up there. But the reason I chose Oakland, because I had the opportunity to stay in New York, the reason I chose Oakland was I just wanted a fresh start, man. I felt like, you know, sometimes you feel like you're ready to fly, you know, and the mother hen want to keep you in the nest a little bit longer, man. I feel like that's how New York wanted. They just wanted to keep you in the nest a little bit. And I felt like I was ready to fly, man. So when I went to Oakland, I was able to spread my wings, man, and you know, really, you know, be successful out there, man. Because and it goes back to everything that I was learning in New York, you know, and guys that I was going against at practice, man, Justin Tuck and OCU McGurr and JPP and all these guys, Chris Canty. And so I was able to learn from these guys, and because when you're on the practice squad, that's who you're going against every day. You get those guys ready for the game, and so I just took it like a challenge every day, man. I wanted to, you know, just prove to these guys I could do it, and I just kept getting better and better.
Now,
you know that how iron sharpens iron, man. That's one of the truest statements, man.
Right. Now, Miko has a question here. Now, he put offensive, but I believe you were an offensive tackle. Is that correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so he has on here, what offensive lineman did you feel owned or powered or destroyed? Who was the nicest old lineman whom you had trouble with? So I'm going to go ahead and change that to defensive lineman. So what defensive lineman did you feel you owned or pounded or destroyed? And who was the nicest defensive lineman whom you had trouble with?
Oh, man, I want to say I destroyed anybody, man. I always like to say I held my own. You know, I would, you know, do my job, and it was just, you know, a battle, man. But definitely, I would say I had some definitely good battles against Tom Ali, who played in Kansas City, Von Miller, who plays in Denver, man. You were some great, you know, guys, man. And I feel like going against the best, you always, anytime you get a chance to go out and compete against somebody, you want to go against the best, because that's where you can kind of measure where you're at. You know, if you're going against somebody who you can pound and who you can do, it's really hard to measure how good you are, man. And I always wanted to go against the best, man. And Tom Ali, he was, in my opinion, one of the best to go against, because just his nature, his temperament, how he played the game. He was from Nigeria. His background is he had, you know, to struggle growing up and do all these things and fight with a spear and all this stuff, hunt. And so football was just a getaway for him, man. And he definitely treated it like that, man. And, he was, every play, he never took a snap off. And I knew when I played against him, I had to be, you know, on my P's and Q's. I had to come with it every play, because I know he wasn't going to let up. When I would play Vaughn, I knew that he was the fastest linebacker in the league. I knew that, you know, he was trying to get a sack every play, so I had to be on my best, to when I was going against him to make sure that he didn't embarrass me. It was just a type of fight or flight type mentality against, those type of individuals, man. I feel like that what brings the best out of you. You just feel like I could just go out into the park and it's just an easy day, man. Then you'll be mistaken. You always got to pump yourself up. Can't never play down to a person's competition, man, because at the end of the day, you don't want to get embarrassed.
Right. When did you get your welcome to the NFL rookie moment? Okay, everybody has their certain kind of initiation or whatever. When did you get your moment?
Man, so this is in New York, and we were at practice. We were at practice, and it was a guy by the name of Sean Rogers. Sean Rogers might be 6'8", 370, man. He was the monstrous D tackle you'll ever see. He looked like Rick Ross, had the beard, had the deep voice to go along with it. I'm talking about just intimidating. And so I'm playing guard at this time, and playing offensive line. You want to be able to play, all the positions and stuff. So I'm playing guard, and he's the defensive tackle over. And so QB says height, and as soon as QB says height, he grabs me up under my arm and he rock bottoms me like the old school wrestler, like not even a football. Just straight up, like picks me up, boom, lays on top of me and starts laughing, like ha ha ha. I'm like, dang, man, and I'm talking about I couldn't breathe for like 2 minutes. The air was out, and I was trying to suck to get some out. It was just definitely bad, but he just like laughing. It was true. It was so easy for him that he was laughing. No exertion, no sweat came out, no beat, no sweat beat it up. It was just effortless. And so that was my welcome to the NFL moment right there. I realized that day that I had to get in the weight room.
You said never again, huh?
Never again.
Never again. So would you say that was your most embarrassing moment while in the NFL?
I say that was number 2. My number 1 most embarrassing moment in the NFL was my first true start, man. I'm in Oakland, and so I'm on one, man. I'm hype. I'm like, first start, And MC Hammer is introducing, the player. How you run out of tunnel.
Oh no!
And so, in my excitement, I'm thinking that he's calling my name, and so I just run out. And it's like no applause, no nothing. I'm like, man, what's going on? He wasn't even finished reading like the introduction yet, man. I had ran out, man, and everybody was laughing at me. Everybody was laughing. I had to stop the gun, but it was definitely, it was cool, man. It's cool to laugh about it now.
And you ain't talking about just a couple hundred people. You talking about like 60,000, 70,000 people.
Like, hey man, what this dude doing? And so by the time they called my name, I'm already on the field. Like,
Matt McCann, present.
Oh, that's crazy.
Hey. Oh yeah, that was pretty embarrassing right there, but it was all fun.
When did you experience your first game in which you played for over 60,000 people?
I'd probably say my first start, man, was play Michigan State.
Okay.
At their house, I think it's 60, 70 plus, and it was rocking, man. They had just hired a new coach, and they was excited about that season. And man, we were a young team, man. We actually Sam Hunt, the country music singer, was my quarterback at the time. We went out there, man, and we probably got beat 60-5, something like that, something real bad. And so, but it was definitely, a good experience to have that at a young age, man, because, I had, if you experience something early, by the time you get to the NFL or whatever, you go, okay, all right, I've been in big crowds before. It's really kind of nothing. I could just settle down and play.
And who was the coach at the time for the Raiders when you played? Was it Del Rio?
No, it was a guy by the name of Dennis Allen.
Okay.
He got fired.
Yeah.
And then Tony Sperano took over.
Right.
And then after Coach Sperano won, I was there for Del Rio. And so it was cool to see, because when I first got to Oakland, man, we were bad, man. We didn't win a lot of games, and then we just had a really great draft, man. We drafted Derek Carr, and we had Khalil Mack, and we had all these, Charles Woodson and all these older veterans to come, help and turn the team around. Michael Crabtree and all these guys, that's been winners where they've been at, man. And so that's what it takes sometimes, man, to just instill into the locker room. You have some guys that can show people how to do it, and how to win. What does it take, to be successful?
That's what's up, man. And you said that it was an incredible experience playing in the at the Black Hole. I saw a video, and I was like, wow, that the sewage system at that stadium sucked. I mean, it wasn't like you saw floods going into the crowd with the players' entrance for the locker room going to the field was flooded. Tell me about that. Was that like how?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely an older stadium. Actually, it was half baseball stadium too. Right. We used it. We shared it with the Oakland A's, man. And so if it would rain, if the hard mud out there would get muddy, man. And it was bad. But I felt like that played into part of who we were, man. We took it as far as like, all right, y'all gotta come to our stadium. We already know it's so y'all the ones gotta deal with it, and so we never complained about it. We just went out and played, and we just really drew on the energy from the crowd, man. It was such an awesome, stadium. Because like I said, even when I first got there, man, we were terrible, but it was always sold out, man. The crowd was always into the game, no matter what. And when we won, and a few times we did, man. When we won it, like the Super Bowl, man, it was just awesome, man. And it was definitely, cool. And I really hate that for those fans of Oakland, man, that what they're going. Our team, man, it's kind of like losing a little bit of your identity, your piece of your heart missing, man. And it's, I just hate that fans have to experience that, man. Because growing up, that's what you see. You guys went to Rams games. Oakland fans, that's all they knew. And it happened to them twice because they left one time and went to LA. Now they're going to Vegas. So it's I feel for those Oakland fans, man, because it was definitely a big part of me out there.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that next question, but you're already answering them going to Las Vegas. They've been showing off that new stadium. I mean, it looks amazing.
That new stadium does look good.
It do look amazing.
That mud looks amazing. So I saw that you also spent some time with the Chicago Bears. How was that experience?
Man, it was a blessing, man. I got there. I actually was there 2 stints. I was there one time in 2016, and my last stint was there was 2018, and it was under 2 different head coaches. My first stint I was there under Coach John Fox, who took the Panthers to the Super Bowl. A long-time coach for the Broncos.
Right.
And it was definitely a blessing to be able to be a part of just such a historic tradition, man. You hear about the monsters of the Midway and Dick Buckets and Gary Payton, Walter Payton and all these guys. And it was just cool because it's one of the oldest franchises in the NFL. Just such a historic place. But the thing about Chicago, man, you got to be a man to play there because it's so cold. I mean, it'll get. When I first got there, it was negative like 5 degrees, and I don't know if you ever felt negative 5 degrees, man. It just pain.
Hey,
brother, man, we in St. Louis. We get that. We get it. It's just worse over there because it's coming off the river too.
Right,
man. So it was definitely some growing up I had to do out there, man. I can't use that cold, but after I got used to it, it was definitely good. It was definitely out of love.
How tough was it to play in front of fans like in New York, then going to Oakland and then going to Chicago? Because all those fan bases, they're pretty rowdy.
Yeah, so coming from New York, man, it was like I said, we had just won a Super Bowl, so everybody was pumped up. Oakland was just a whole different, game, man. It was just, fans, they got to the tailgate. 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours, something out before the game even starts. So they already turned up. And, you know, in Chicago, man, it was pretty much the same thing, man, because that's just, you know, football tradition right there, man. You got the old, you know, Saturday Night Live, the Bears, you know, parodies and all that stuff. You got the people with the dick mustaches, all that. And so it was definitely cool to see that too, man.
Were you able to cross paths with any previous Hall of Famers from the Bears?
Oh yeah, man, I was definitely able to, you know, meet a lot of guys because everybody would come back and shoot, one of my favorite, I mean, just heroes growing up, you know, watching was Devin Hester, man, and be able to meet him and be able to meet, you know, just a lot of guys that, you know, played for the organization, man. It was definitely cool.
Nice.
Devin Hester's definitely that guy.
Yeah, that stands.
Yeah, he was Devin Hester
ran that mug back in the Super Bowl. He was like, all right, let's go. It's that kind of game.
That was cool.
Even though they ain't win. I was mad. I was like, are you serious?
So, what pretty much led to you not playing in the NFL anymore?
I mean, so, you know, sometimes it's just things are out of your hands, man. And when you get older, you got to get paid a certain salary, man. And it's just about, you know, who's expendable, who's not. You know, and sometimes I was on the short end of the stick, and you know, and there's no fault to anybody. It's just sometimes it's just what happens, man. And so the biggest thing for real that you got to do is just, no matter what, you always got to put your best foot forward and keep trucking, you know, and can't let, you know, a closed door determine how you're going to, you know, move about through the rest of your life, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it was just always about, you know, putting my best foot forward no matter what happens, that, you know, I always get the best that I can do. And as long as you sit in the room comfortable and look yourself in the mirror and keep your head up and like, hey, I did the best I could do. And so I mean, sometimes things just happen.
When you got your first NFL paycheck, what did you do?
My first NFL paycheck, I bought my dad a car. Him and my mom, I bought him a new car. They had a old beat up minivan at the time. It was on his last leg, you know. And so I, you know, wanted to do that for my dad. You know, give him a reliable vehicle to get around, you know, this and that. Because he was actually at the time he had to go through dialysis treatments, man. So I wanted to make sure he was able to get the dialysis on time and, you know, everything with that. So, and then after that, I just put the rest of it in the bank, man, and try to start saving up.
And were there any any moments in which your cousin over here was like, "Hey, because..."
No, I never did it. Never did it. I never did it.
You know how it goes.
Never.
You know how it goes.
Never.
So, you know, definitely dealing with, you know, some of that, you know, people, you know, they want. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something, man. When you make it, people want to feel like, you know, they have you one time that you owe them something. Hey, you remember that time in third grade hey boy,
really?
So,
third grade?
Third grade, bro. That's what you bringing up.
And so the ciphers through all that, man, because, you know, I ain't saying
you remember that one time I let you have a graham cracker?
People, man, but you always want to remember who was really there for you, man, through the hard times, and, you know, and remember those people.
That's what's up, man.
Definitely.
Once again, this is the Platform Sports Talk Show. An incredible interview so far. I am your boy Smooth, along with
Stanton, baby. I'm back.
And special guest on the phone we have.
Hey, you got your boy Matt McCann, Mobile, Alabama.
He ready.
Doing a bid.
he added more to it.
I'm like, what in the radio plug? Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Matt McCann, you know, Mobile, Alabama. And you listen to DJ Drama.
All right. Tune in live. Weekdays.
Tune in live.
Weekdays at 5:45. Yes, an odd time.
Hey, for now on, that means we gotta have him do a drop for our show, man. Hey.
There you go.
Hey. Watch the show.
Right. Every Wednesday, Wednesday night sports delight. There it is, right there, man. So, all right. So you done with the NFL? You know what? They tripping. I'll pass on any offers, whatever. Then you get a call saying, "Hey, how'd you feel about joining the XFL?" What was your initial thought?
I mean, at first, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I definitely was not feeling it. Like, man, because when I was in Birmingham, I was fortunate enough to play in a little AAF league that they had, And it was cool because it was right here in Birmingham. You know, you still get paid playing football, and it was a cool experience. But I was kind of like, man, you know, after the league had folded, the same team that was the general manager for the team in Birmingham, they became the general manager in St. Louis, and they called and said, hey, man, we really want you. You know, we got this new league up. And I was totally against it because I was like, man, I just don't want, you know, the same thing to happen again with the league folding. I don't want, you know, I'm going to be away from my family. You know, St. Louis kind of far away. And I was just, you know, totally against it. But I just kept, you know, they kept, you know, persisting. Hey, they call, you know, they would call him every day. And what I did was I just prayed about it, man. And the biggest thing that God told me that, you know, why he wanted me to go out there because my son, he was old enough to, you know, kind of see me play now, man. When I first got in the league, you know, me and my wife, we couldn't have kids right away, you know, and God, you know, eventually blessed us with a son. And so now he was at the age, you know, where he could see me play and you know, come in the locker room and wear my jersey and all that type of experience, man. And that's always something that I always wanted because I would see the other guys, you know, when I was in Oakland or when I was in New York, they would bring their kids into the locker room and have them wearing that jersey, and I always wanted that feeling, man. And so that was the biggest reason why I said I wanted to play again because I just wanted him to see me play one time, to go out, you know, have fun and wear my jersey on his back and, you know, invite him in the locker room, man. And he really enjoyed it, man. It was such a blessing to see him just so happy and rooting for me, man. And it was awesome, man. So it was definitely worth every bit of it just to see him happy and have a good time.
And then, of course, you have the person who oversees everything, and that was Vince McMahon. Did you have any interactions with him at all, or was it strictly through Kurt?
Nah, he was definitely like a mob figure in the back, man. Just you know, his presence was there, but he didn't say much. He allowed the football people kind of to do, you know, what they were doing. That's why I say Oliver Luck did a tremendous job as the commissioner of running things the right way as far as, you know, football, you know, and that's what I always say. Vince McMahon is one of the best leaders, you know, and businessmen, because when you don't know something, you hire somebody who does, and you allow them to do, you know, what they know how to do best. You don't try to, you know, stick your hand in and say I know better than the guy whose job is to know football. And so he let Oliver Luck you know, run things the way that he wanted to. And I feel like we put a good product out, man, you know, and we were very successful. And I can only speak for St. Louis, man, but we did things the right way as far as the media department and getting out into the community, man. That was one of the biggest things that I really enjoyed during my time in St. Louis, was how much things we did in the community. And I was starting a little program that I like to do with at-risk youth. We would go down to the juvenile detention center, man, and we sit down there with them. And you're talking about a lot of kids who just, you know, took bad paths, man, who are not bad kids, but they just, you know, got into certain situations that they couldn't control, or they didn't have a certain parent at the house, and, you know, just didn't have a lot of positive influence. And we just wanted to, you know, be there for those kids and stuff like that, man. And it was really awesome, man. And so it's just unfortunate that how everything went down. But the reason I can't really get too upset because this COVID-19 really affected everybody, man. Right. It wasn't just our league getting shut down. It was, you know, a lot of people lost jobs, a lot of people died, you know, during this whole ordeal. So it was just, you know, one of those things that happen sometimes, man, that are out of your control. And so my biggest thing was always, and that's just life, you got to control the things that you can control, man. And when you try to control things that you can't control, what you can't control controls you. And so we just, you know, got to go through life sometimes, man. Just, it is what it is type mindset, like, you know, and just move on.
That's correct. And you brought up Oliver Luck earlier, and he does such an outstanding job with the league overall. What are your thoughts on Kurt Hunziker?
Yeah, he was a good president. I didn't get a chance to really meet him as much. You know, they handle, you know, they all the way upstairs, and they handle, you know, the big time job. But I really feel like just, as a whole, the Battle Hawks organization was one of the better in the league, man, as far as, how we did things, how we carried ourselves, and the product we put on the field. We were poised to, really, make a big jump. We thought we were going to be, headed into the playoffs and had a chance to, compete for the title and whatnot. And we were just trying to, bring something to the city, man, to St. Louis, because, with everything that had happened with the Rams and everything that was going on, we wanted to bring a winner back to the city, man, because we knew that if we would have won, that parade was going to be pretty big and everybody was going to be excited, man. What's the little square, that little where everybody celebrates at and stuff? What was the name? Was it?
You talking about like Kena Plaza or?
Yeah, something like that. It was, where all the ballparks at, all the bars and all that.
Oh, you talking about the ballpark village area?
Yeah, I think so,
yeah, that would
man.
have been lit.
We knew that place was jumping, man. So, and then the Cardinals was just about to get started up, man. It was just awesome, man. We were gonna take all the Blues, what happened at the game all the time, man. It was just a good situation to be in right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, once again, man, we got the big man, Matt McCants here. How would you compare the training camps from NFL and XFL? Because I know that it had to be rushed because y'all trying to get things going.
Yeah, I mean, training camp in the NFL is definitely a whole nother level, man. Because to me, the NFL, it was just you had to, one, you were preparing for more games. XFL was on a 10-game season, and NFL you got 16 games, and then just the pace of the game is different, man. With the XFL, it was, we're trying to get so many plays in, because the whole thing was we want to have 100 plays in an hour or something, so it was just boom, boom, boom. And NFL, it was more, all right, we got 60 minutes, and, it's a traditional clock, so it was more, I guess, game planning and more strategic, definitely like chess. I would consider how I would compare it is, you got the NFL, it's chess, man, it's really complex. XFL was like checkers, man. We just trying to go fast as possible, and we just out here playing. And so it was that, to me, that was the biggest difference.
And what were your thoughts with the different rule changes that the league had compared to the NFL? Like, I love the kickoff. I thought that was excellent. I was looking forward to seeing, some overtime stuff, but I don't think there was a game that went to overtime. But just your thoughts on the rule, and do you feel the NFL will take a lot of those ideas?
I really thought that the rules were different, and we were just trying to stand alone. We were trying to do things that were traditional football type things, but with our own little spin on it. To me, I was kind of indifferent about it. I always felt like the kickoff was one of the more exciting plays, but with everything we're trying to do now with safety and limiting in the kickoffs and stuff like that, I feel like it was tougher, man. When you're offensive lineman, we all about field position, man. We want to get the ball out. We want big returns, and I felt like it was tougher to get those big returns. But even though we had, I think the first kickoff return for a touchdown with the Battle Hawks, man, that was cool to see.
Man,
it was on a trick play.
Great play, man.
It was on a trick play, man. So that was definitely awesome, man. But it was, to me, I thought it was tougher, man, to get the ball out. I really hated how fast the game was, man, because if you weren't in shape, man, you would have been out there, dying, man, because, every 20 seconds the ball snapped, and it was tough, so you had to get in shape for that. But it was cool overall, man. It was definitely unique. We were trying to do our own thing as far as the rules and stuff, so it was cool.
Sure, I'm sure Chip Kelly would have loved coaching in the XFL.
Yeah, he would have. See, yeah, that's who would have thrived in it, man.
He would have loved it.
So, but it was fun, man.
So one of the most controversial things about the XFL, outside of the different rules, was the media going to you during the game. How did you feel about that, and what was the overall thought process from your peers?
Yeah, I mean, it was just, it's tough to ask a person a question in a fiery type moment, man. a quarterback just throws an interception and you go straight to him like, hey, how do you feel about throwing an interception you just threw? You know, and you know, you don't have no time to kind of decipher what's going on and kind of breathe and let your emotions kind of, you know, go along. But it was just handled, you know, a few different ways, man. I saw a good friend of mine, Matt McGloin. He had one of the most controversial statements.
Sure did.
When he told the reporter that they need to scrap the whole game plan and that, you know. You know, and that's my boy. We played together in Oakland, man. And so it was just, you know, frustrating time for him because, you know, everybody's a competitor, man. Everybody wants things to go right, you know, and nobody wants to get on national TV and embarrass themselves, man. So
True.
I feel like it was tough. And if you were able to handle it, though, I feel like you did a good job. And I always thought that whoever handled, you know, those type of things the best and with the average stuff like that, you know, that's who handled the best, you know.
Yeah. What were your initial thoughts when Jordan Tambo got that deal from the Chiefs?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, I was excited, man, because you're talking about a good dude, man. He went to Ole Miss, man. I mean, just a quiet, good kid, man. And you know, being a left tackle, man, it was my job to protect him, man, and keep him upright because that's, you know, when we do our job, he's able to do his job, man. And I feel like, you know, blocking for him and protecting him, he was able to show what he could do so he can, you know, go out and go and, you know, get those type of contracts with the NFL so he can show what he can do, you know. And so I really took a lot of pride in that, man, and it was really good to see.
How much pressure was it, especially playing in a position that you did, tackle and more so left tackle, correct?
Yeah, to me, man, it was no pressure, man, because I feel like, you know, I had been here before. God, you know, put me in this moment for a reason, and I feel like I was able to handle it, man, because, you know, with anything, if you prepare and you know, pride yourself on, you know, what you do, you know, when you get it's time to do the job, man, you go out there and be successful, man. So I just wanted to go out there, you know, and be ready and be prepared, you know, and go out and show what I could do.
So your first game, y'all was out in Dallas. Tell me about that experience. Did you have any nerves like you did when you was a rookie? Because, you know, you're going to a whole different league now.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the only thing was with the nerves. It was just kind of like you know, the unexpected. You know, it was everybody's first game. You know, okay, how we gonna, you know, respond to the play clock? How is it gonna feel? You know, and this and that. So those were pretty much only nerves that I had, kind of just the unexpected. But I wasn't nervous as far as like, okay, I'm going against this guy or this and that, because I knew I was going to be ready for, you know, when it's time to, you know, handle business. But I was just, you know, excited. And then we were underdogs, man. We were picked to be the last place team, you know, and we went out there and we just showed people, okay, this is what time it was, you know. But because the difference between our team was we had a lot of guys that we had played together before in Birmingham. We had a lot of dogs on our team, man. You know, a lot of people who, you know, have had, you know, tough situations growing up and overcome adversity, you know, and we were a tight team, man. And we just knew that, all right, when we step on the field, it's Monday, you know, all the, whatever the reporters are saying and all that stuff, it don't matter. Now we're finna go see. So it was awesome.
Now, people didn't really know about this coach until he took over. Let's discuss Jonathan Hayes, man, and the job that he did for y'all.
Man, hey, you talking about a man. Coach Hayes is a man, and he did a good job of leading other men, you know, and that's what it's about, man. That's how you ask some coaches, you know, you want your coach to, you know, buy into his players, and you want his players to buy into him, man. And he did a good job. He created a family atmosphere, man, and he was just really definitely like a father figure for a lot of people, man, and somebody you can go in and lean on, somebody you knew you could trust, and somebody that you definitely knew had your back, man, and he was just a great man. He instilled a lot of good things into us, man, as far as how to be, you know, how to carry ourselves, and just getting us ready, you know, to play a game, because he a dog himself, man. He played with Kansas City for a long time, and tight end. And so he was in those wars and those trenches, and he knew what it was like. And so, you know, you got a coach like that who's been there, done that. He can show you the way, and he telling you to come follow because I got y'all back. man, it's a special thing that can go on, man. And one thing about Coach Hayes that I can't say enough, man, that every time we had a community service event, he was right there, man. He was there helping. He was there helping, passing out clothes and food at the food banks and all that stuff. He was right there. He never asked anybody to do something that he wouldn't do, you know. And he was just a great, special man, man. I was definitely blessed to be able to be a part of his football team, man. I was just so thankful.
Yeah, man. And just overall, like you said, man, when we heard that he's gonna be our coach, and we saw that he was, under the coaching tree with, with the Bengals and Marvin Lewis, we was like, oh Lord God, what's gonna happen here? But you came out the gate. Y'all had a different style. Y'all wasn't trying to do all this extra stuff like other teams were doing.
Yeah, man, we were trying to do us, man. And then every time after the game, man, they had the Bud Light Sosa in the locker room. He pouring up, and so it was just a good thing, man. It was awesome, man. And he was just, you couldn't ask for a better coach, man.
What would you say in the 4-5 games? What was your best memory of being a Battlehawk?
My best memory of being a Battlehawk, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. Maybe it was the first game we lost, man. We played the Houston Renegades and we lost.
Y'all should have won that game, man. What happened?
It was a tough loss, man. We got cheated. The refs made bad call, and but it was just cool to see how the team, even though we lost, but how we came together afterwards, man, and how we understood that we had something special here, And a lot of times, it's easy to be, cool and joyful when things are going good. But what happens when it hits the fan? And so it was kind of like a learning moment, a teaching moment for everybody, because we went into that game confident. We thought we were going to go 10-0, and to have our hearts ripped out by a good team. Now, we hated that we had to leave the game to the refs' hands, but it was just a good learning moment to see how everybody comes together after that, man, and understand, okay, we lost, but we got something special here, man, and we kept rolling afterwards, and so that was probably my best memory as a Battlehawk, to just overcome adversity. Yeah, things didn't go our way, but we kept rolling, man, and those are the championship teams, how teams are made, because, everything ain't gonna go smooth, so it's just about, all right, what happens when the adversity comes and how to deal with it. And so we were blessed and fortunate enough to have ours early, get it out the way. All right, now we rolling.
That's what's up, man. And with that being said, because y'all was a few days away from being the first XFL team to have the higher portion of the dome to be open for the fans.
Man, we about to open the top.
You know what I'm saying? So, just do you feel professional football, will eventually be back in St. Louis, whether it's the XFL?
I definitely do, because it's all right there for the taking, man. You got the right fan base, you got the facilities, you got the the media to be able to handle it, and so it was just to me, it's a perfect storm for another team to come in. It just has to be the right opportunity and the right, person to see that type of vision, that makes sense.
Yeah. Stanley, any questions?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. So what's next for you right now, Big Mac?
Right now, man, it's just a waiting game, man. With everybody, pretty much in a standstill right now with what's going on with COVID. Everybody, is hoping that the NFL season starts back and, college football, starts back. So right now it's just, a waiting game, seeing what I want to do as far as like maybe coaching or whatnot. If I want to keep playing, that table's on, that's on the option too, because like I said, we're still just a few months away from, playing active football, man, and playing at a high level. So I can feel like I can do anything, man. But my whole thing is I just want to put all my faith into the Lord, man, and keep praying, and whatever He has for me, I know I'll be ready. And that's the biggest thing. Just keep praying and keeping God first, man, and allowing Him to move in ways that, okay, I know what's going on now, if that makes sense.
We have a question here from Edward Sosa. He says, "What advice were you given as a rookie that you would pass along to new rookies, and who gave it to you?"
The best advice that I ever got in the NFL was by a guy by the name of Tony Pashos, man. He had been playing 14, 15 years at that point, and it was getting ready to be my first start. And I was talking to him, man, how I'm nervous and whatnot. And the biggest thing he told me was, and I apply this to everyday life now, man, is you got to keep your world small. You can't let other things make, what's really small big, that makes sense, man. You're getting ready to play a football game, and if you look at ESPN, you start hearing all the stats and, okay, what this person did, it'll start making it, bigger than what it is. And that's, just playing football, making sure I take the right steps, listening to the snap count, and just keeping everything small. And because the bigger you make things, the more, things, get out of control. Same thing with David and Goliath, man. He didn't really look at Goliath like everybody else was looking at Goliath, like, oh, he's this big dude, this big monster. He just looked at him like, all right, this is just a regular dude. I got a guy with me. I'm going to put these little stones in this slingshot, and I'm going to knock him out, And so you got to have that same type of mindset, man, that no matter whatever you're facing, I'm just going to keep it smile. I'm going to do what I've been. I feel like God put me on this earth to do. Let's go out here and handle business on this football field. So when I had that type of mindset, it was just easy, It ain't matter who I was going against, Von Miller, Tom Lee, whoever. If I go out here and do my job, I'll be all right.
There it is. And we have someone special who has a amen with the blue heart. And,
there you go.
I believe you know her well, Mrs. McCants.
Yeah, there she go. That's my baby.
hey, you gotta love black love, right?
Oh, yeah.
Ain't nothing like it.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta love it, man. Man, thank you for your time, man. It's been an excellent interview with you, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you guys so much, man. It was definitely a blessing to be a part of you guys' show, man. You guys do a tremendous job. Definitely awesome, man. Love the city of St. Louis, man. You guys hold it down. I know y'all will, and definitely look forward to, speaking in the future, man, doing some drops for y'all, watching the platform talk show. You feel me?
Stan, she says, hey, Joshy Washy.
Hey, yo! You wildin' right now.
Expose them. Go ahead.
Wildin' right now.
Get on.
There you go.
You know what? I'll let it slide. I feel like I'm gonna have to hear that for a while.
Right.
It's cool. What's up?
Hey, you're gonna have Big Baker talking about calling you Josh.
No, he can't do that. We establishing that right now. Nah, that ain't happening. I think he can speak for himself. That ain't happening.
She says, "Hey, my husband's cuzzo."
I'm gonna go. All right, I'm out of here. I'll take my things and I'm out to go.
He said, here you go. So before we leave, man, I had to actually do one thing because we ain't heard it from a long time outside of me doing it earlier. But can you go ahead and give us?
Hold on.
Give us your best cacao that you can.
I got you. From the bottom of my heart.
There it is. He did it, man.
Yes, sir.
Big Mac. Hey, man, do me a favor, man, if you don't mind. Share this stream. Share your story to all your peoples, man, so we can get these views.
Adrian been sharing it. She been sharing everything.
Go ahead and keep on getting them shares so people can hear your story, man.
She said tell that story. Okay.
Tell the story. Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Now we have Stan. He's going to tell his story.
All right, so it was the day we were shooting the commercial. It was when I saw her down there, and I was like sunglasses, hat, hood. So I was. At first she looked at me like, "Who?" And then like, "Oh, okay. Hey, what you doing out here? You going to the game?" Nah, cool. Smooth comes up, and I don't know what happened, but in that moment I was like, "Yeah, this is my cousin's wife. Knowing she my cousin. And boy, the look she gave me, I was like, what? Like, and then when I said it, it took me a minute. I was like, what? What just happened? You just, huh? Wait. It took me a minute. I'm like, I ain't do nothing. That ain't right. It was cold and hot, and I was layered. It was a lot going on.
Yeah.
So that's the story. And then the thing behind Joshie Washi, I pretty much told her she's the only person that can call me that. I didn't think she was gonna do it on here.
Joshie Washi.
Hey,
Washi.
hey, hold up. See.
Don't start nothing. And we also have a comment from that Latangelin Broadnecks. Says Matt McCants, one of the best.
Hey.
There it is.
Tell that story.
That story.
That's just rude.
But yeah, man, once again, thank you very much for your time. She says love you, cuz.
I love you too.
And once again, man, just keep sharing. Let everybody.
I'll see y'all in like 2022 when everything like officially settled down.
Hopefully.
Like, give me some time.
Hopefully. But once again, Matt, thank you very much, man. And share. Let everybody know about the platform Sports Talk Show, man.
Yes, sir, man. Y'all be blessed, man.
Yes, sir. You do the same, cuz.
Go, man.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye, Adrian.
Man, that was a excellent interview, man. Good story.
Man.
Let's see here. Can't get that. So now we get from one great call, and once again, this is the Platform Sports Talk Show. This has been an incredible show.
Yeah.
Your boy Smooth, along with
Stan, baby.
And we just previously had on the line Big Matt McCants, former NFL, XFL player, and now we're talking about some baseball, which is about to be back by the end of this month, along with hockey.
Hallelujah.
Yes, we have.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, guys.
What's up?
How you been?
Been good. Just sitting at home, working, trying to live life, just not leaving the house.
Man, so do you be having those urges to be like, man, let me just make a run, somewhere, get out, do something?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, honestly, I enjoy our house, so it's okay. But I am excited for the 4th of July. I love the 4th of July and celebrate America's birthday and getting with family, so I'm excited about that.
Out there in the boondocks. Out there in the boondocks. So, as I said earlier, it looks like, unless there is just a big increase with COVID-19, looks like baseball will be back. And matter of fact, this Friday is when they start their official practice. I guess their summer camp is what they're calling it. And the Cardinals will be at Busch Stadium, and the other teams will be at their home parks until it's time for maybe a couple of spring or summer training games. But how does it make you feel knowing that you got your team back in town and they are already getting things ready to rock and roll?
Makes you feel giddy, and like seeing all the guys post on Twitter, on Instagram that they're in St. Louis and stuff. I don't know, it just makes me feel like I'm just giddy and excited. I can sit here and just think about what our lineup's going to be with the DH and whatnot. So I just get pumped about it.
And that's the cool thing is that we've been talking about, what's going on with this pandemic. But now, I think for the very first time since you've been on this show, we can actually start talking about baseball again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for the first time. That's why I was really excited that, my first time doing actual a baseball season on the show.
Right.
I can't even remember if I was even doing postseason or not. I can't remember, but regardless, I was excited to be able to do a full baseball season. But I mean, I guess 60 games is better than nothing if we get the whole 60.
Exactly. And Rob Manfred said today that the plan was never to have more than 60 games. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be any more, but he kind of just annoys me how he calls out the Players Association, saying that they're disappointed they didn't try to discuss any further, this and that. If you knew, you should have just said point blank, and then maybe players could have been getting ready sooner, and we probably could have had a season sooner. But I don't know. How I feel about the guys.
Right. Oh man. So they said today that Jordan Hicks will remain on the IL for a few weeks longer, which sucks because I was hoping that he would be ready to go right in at the end of this month. And then we talked about this maybe via chat, but not on the show. That John Brebbia, all of a sudden, he had Tommy John surgery, so now he won't be playing at all this season. So, what are your thoughts on both Jordan Hicks and John Brebbia?
Yeah, I would have thought by now Hicks would have been ready, but I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense just because he hasn't been like pitching in game or anything. Like he's just been now starting to do bullpen from 60 feet away and stuff, so that makes sense. I think he will pitch at some point. The Brebbia thing, just like Brendan told me that, and I was like, "Are you what?" Like I thought he was like trying to prank me or something,
right?
Because like I guarantee they weren't going to say a single thing about it if they weren't going to have a season. Like, why'd you? I don't know. You got like that's one of our best parts of our team is our bullpen, and he was a big part of that. And now he's just gone.
And he's gone. It's like, dang. It's like you get optimistic with all this time to kind of get your stuff together, and then these are the first two things of news that we get. You have a surgery and you ain't ready. Still ain't heard nothing from anybody up top, which is kind of scary. But at the same time, I'm okay with that because when we do hear from them, it's usually disappointing. So, I'm glad they're quiet for now.
Right. So I asked Stan this question in regards to basketball wise. So baseball, let's say everything gets started. Then boom, Mike Trout, he has to go to the COVID injury list. Bryce Harper, Max Scherzer, all these top stars. If that happens, what do you think happens to the game of baseball?
I mean, I think they'll still play out finish playing everything out.
You do?
If I do, but if Mike Trout was like Ian Desmond or Mike Leake saying that he's not going to play because of the risk, and he's got a wife that's due in like 2 months, so like he's got plenty of reasons not to do it, but he's still doing it. So if he was one of those players that said he's going to just not play at all, or someone like Chris Bryant who has a new baby, or Bryce Harper who has a new baby and a new baby on the way, like stuff like that, I think they probably would have, like you guys said on the show, like if LeBron says we're going to play, we're going to play. So if LeBron wasn't going to play, I guarantee NBA wouldn't be going on because he's the face pretty much of the NBA. Same thing with Mike Trout. But if he gets it like 20, 30 games in, they're going to finish it out.
And then also today they announced that the Yankees will not be the team facing the White Sox at the famous upcoming first time Field of Dreams game. It's going to be the St. Louis Cardinals facing the White Sox. So how do you feel about that? Stan's face. If you see it right now on the show, you see his face.
Oh, no, I didn't see it. I'll have to go back and watch what his face.
Okay.
What was I going to say? No, I think it's awesome. I was going to watch that game regardless because I've been to the Field of Dreams before, and it's an amazing place. One of my favorite movies. And even though it's not going to be actually on the Field of Dreams, it's still going to be a cool experience.
Right.
And the Cardinals going to get to do the London series this year. So, I mean, it's pretty cool that they get to experience that.
Yeah.
They could play it on the Field of Dreams field. Just like, get rid of everybody else. Have only the essential people.
Well, that won't be. Well, they may have to anyway. Now
have them bust in. He's like, nah, you don't get a dugout. You get a bus.
Ain't no telling, man. A while back, they had like this discussion of best baseball movies, and you got The Sandlot. You got
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year. You got Major League. I saw this movie that I ain't seen in a long time.
A League of Their Own.
Yes, that movie. That movie has to be up there. Do you?
That's a sleeper.
Do you agree, Joe?
Yeah, I love that one. I just saw it's like 28 years old today. Yeah, that's crazy. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I don't know. I really like that movie honestly because I played softball my entire life and always played baseball with the guys. So I don't know. It like hit home, I guess. I really liked it.
So with everything being abbreviated, once again, a 60-game season. And with the DH in both leagues, what are you looking forward to seeing in regards to this season?
What, just with the DH?
With the DH and just having this short season, because from game one it's going to be a mad dash, kind of like being like a month of September feel.
Oh yeah, it's gonna feel pretty much like the playoffs probably instantly. Any team, I think it was the Marlins that said, "Why not them?" And it sounds stupid, but they signed and they signed some veterans that aren't bad. They just couldn't make the team for really good teams. So they're gonna play the Orioles. The Orioles are gonna play the Marlins 4 times, so that should help them out. Mets always seem like they're gonna be good, but they never are. So and they're in the East, so that should help them out too. So I don't know. I like that there's probably going to be a chance for some different teams to be in the playoffs, which is exciting. I'm excited for the DH, especially for us. I know it's going to help every single team, but I've always liked the pitchers batting better just because I like the NL rules better. But the DH is going to happen regardless, so I'm excited to see it happening now.
Just imagine if they would have had the DH last year while we still had Jose Martinez.
Forget last year. If they would have had the DH when Albert Pujols was still here, he'd probably have stuck around.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Hey, definitely would have helped him prolong his career. He probably wouldn't be having those foot injuries that he's been having every year.
Man.
I think he just had surgery last year before the spring training, didn't he? He had surgery.
I think so. That's happened multiple times.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't fault him for trying to start off on the right foot.
But
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
So what are your thoughts on these rule changes? I don't think they're gonna have this whole relief pitchers. They has to face 3 batters this season.
Trash.
But what about the extra innings in which you have a man starting at second base?
I hate that so much. That's Rob Manfred for you. I don't understand. Especially right now where you're only going to have 60 games. This could be our chance to get a little bit extra baseball for the fans that do enjoy the game. And now you're trying to shorten it. I'll never understand what goes through that guy's head.
I'm gonna put you on the fly. See if you can give me a nice lineup of who you feel should be in the lineup, and then who you feel the Cardinals will put out there. Your starting 9.
Oh man. Well, Brendan just got the new MLB The Show game, and I played that the other day.
Great game.
Yeah, it is really good. I like it. I had Wong leading off, which that won't happen, but I had him leading off. I think I had Carpenter after that. I didn't like it because it was 2 lefties, but whatever. And then Goldschmidt, DeYoung, and then it went Molina. I'm trying to think. Molina, and then I put Lane Thomas in there instead of Bader, but Bader's going to start. We all know that. So I think Lane Thomas batted 8th for me, Edmonds 7, Fowler 6, Molina 5.
So
and then 1 through 4 was
So that's the lineup that you feel that they're gonna put out, or the one that
I think they're going to have Bader in center field, Fowler in right, and probably O'Neill in left.
Yeah.
But
it should be, but it should be in right field. Who?
I don't even know. If I could pick it, I would do a Bader, Thomas, Carlson.
Yeah, I'll do a Bader, O'Neill, and Carlson.
Yeah, and who knows if Carlson's even who knows if we even get to see him this year? I know he's invited to the camp, but we'll see. I think Edmund will probably get most of the playing time at third. At least I'm hoping so. And then Carpenter I think will get most of the DH time.
He better.
But I mean, I don't see why they couldn't put Molina there here and there and have Kisner catch a little bit or Wieters.
True.
So I mean, there's a lot they can do.
Yeah, let's just see what the reigning manager of the year, Mike Schilt, does with that squad.
Woo!
The thing is that you can't treat it like a full season because you can't wait 2 weeks to someone to wake up.
I think they've already talked about that too. That they can't treat it like that anymore.
Yeah. This is gonna be a different one, but play your guys who are performing and leave it like that.
I still say fire everybody.
All right.
Everybody.
All right, Sadal.
Everybody gotta go. Custodian gotta go.
Oh, but you know what, Sadal?
Parking security gotta go.
Sadal can't say we a third place team. Because that was his thing.
Dude, the Reds are gonna be super scary now with this DH.
Right. Castellano over there, and Lord, that team. But
and Moose and Suarez, yeah, they got a lot of big bats, so it's scary.
I can't wait, everybody. I can't wait, man. Hopefully, like I said, people they remain healthy. We don't get no bombshell. Paul Goldschmidt has, we know.
Yeah, don't even say I'm knocking on wood every. And he's on my fantasy squad. I need that.
No, not the fantasy squad.
Yeah.
Oh man. So it looks like this is the last question I have. Looks like the Blues are going to go north, meaning either to Toronto or Edmonton for the bubble. Thoughts on that? Everybody playing in the bubble now?
I mean, baseball. We weren't going to be able to go watch them play anyway, so it doesn't really bother me. It's not like we were going to be able to go there and wave rally towels and spend hundreds of dollars on tickets and beer. So
you do it at home, and you go on YouTube and you type in crowd arena noises, and you just let it play as the game plays. Get you a nice little Bose sound system.
Have you seen the videos of soccer in which they have like a big old like LED board like right behind the goal post, and like they have these fans looking at the game, and you can kind of like get to see their reactions and everything. Have you seen that yet, Joe?
I didn't see that, but I saw today on Twitter that the Royals you can buy for $40 and it goes to charities. You can like have them make a cutout of you and put you in the stands.
I saw that. And someone mentioned that. I think it was like Dan McLaughlin or someone mentioned that that's a good way for Major League Baseball to kind of make up for the loss by having fans pay like a set price for all the games of the season, in which you just be in that same spot. And you may get some TV time, have a cardboard cutout showing of you.
If you got a cardboard cutout showing you, you better put all your information on there. Be like, hey,
right, promo. Yep. So the Blues going up north.
Fly a plane over the stadium. Be like, we gonna make them look
right. And I think today was the 1 year anniversary, or was it 1 year? 2 year anniversary of the famous trade of us getting Ryan O'Reilly. What a trade, huh?
Yeah, Brendan was showing me the Doug Armstrong phone call today, and I got like chill bumps when O'Reilly said, "Let's go win a cup." And then I remember we played kickball that day. We came home and we sat down and we saw the tweets about that, and we were freaking out. So it's just little things like that. I'll like never forget that has something to do with that run that we had last year. And so we got him for a while too. So it's exciting.
That's what's up. Well, first of the month, let's see what July brings. Hopefully, it'll be a start of a better second half of our year.
Sharknado.
Hopefully, yeah.
I ain't putting nothing past nothing.
They got flying snakes talking about on the ride.
Something's coming next.
Something. I think someone had like we live in Jumanji right now. Yeah, Anthony Davis got little braids now, a twist in his hair. It's a whole lot going on in 2020, but. Hopefully,
Alex Caruso is going more bald.
Right. Hopefully, we get some sports going by the next time we talk, or should I say closer.
And LeBron got a line up.
Right.
He's ready.
Or should I say closer to sports starting up real strong by the next time we have Joe Knows. Joe?
Sounds good. I'm excited to finally be able to talk about live sports.
Right.
Also, since we're talking about 2 year anniversaries, today is the 2 year anniversary. LeBron went west. Happened today. 2 years ago.
So he's taking his time.
And then they also said 2 years later, the Lakers are the number 1 seed in the West. It was like, all it took was, look, everybody was like, oh, Lakers bust. I was like, give him 2. All he need is 2.
Yep.
And look what happened. The Rona trying to hate. It's cool. They going to get that Rona ring. Hello. Hi, Al.
All right, well, Joe, thank you very much. And I'll be more than likely seeing you on the chat line at work in the next couple hours.
Sounds good. You guys have a safe and fun 4th of July.
All right. Thank you very much. Awesome. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you, too.
All right, man. Hey, incredible show.
Yep.
Shouts out to your cuz, Big Matt.
Yep.
His wife calling you different
And
names.
shout out to my cousin's wife.
It's definitely been a fun show. And with you being back for the first time in a minute, did you have a final say?
Oh man. I definitely do have a final say. I haven't been on the show in a while. You know, things happen and you're never sure when, you know, things can change in an instant for an eternity. So just make sure that you always take an opportunity to tell the people around you that you love them. Like, just make sure that they know that. Like, make sure that they know that solid. And make sure that they also understand with love comes arguments and things like that. But know that those arguments are always things that are in that moment, and it's not things that last past that. That's the beauty about love and family. You can fight one day and be thick as thieves tomorrow. So, you know, just treasure every day and make sure people know. Make sure that you let people know how you feel about them, so that, like, if anything tragic should happen, there's no doubt in someone's mind. There's no second guessing that they know despite what happens. Love on each other. We all we got.
It's true.
Black Lives Matter.
Bam. And mine, I was going to go a different route, but you actually inspired me to, just like right there on the fly, inspired me to change it real quick. I don't think I've given this person enough credit, because without her and her sacrifices, all this going on, this show from the first show to now probably would not be possible. So I definitely have to say and give all the love to Tay. Thank you very much, man, because like I said, without you and your support, this show wouldn't be getting to the levels, to the heights that it is getting to.
To the higher heights
right.
that it's reaching.
So thank you very much for everything that you have done. I really appreciate you, and you definitely have so many big blessings coming your way for everything that you have done and sacrificed. And I definitly appreciate you.
White.
Hey, the championship bottle, hella gold.
Look, all these white things just making glares.
And then you got the white shirt, so you're on the road, bro.
Brightness.
You're on the road. But once again, Tay, thank you very much.
Neutral colors from here on out. Grays.
Definitely appreciate you. And that being said, that is our show.
That's it.
Next week, he'll be in studio. That will be a head coach, coach around the local area of the Lou. Really steaming, beaming, nervous. He will be on the show. He's funny, y'all. He having a lot of funny posts on his page. I met him.
Funny posts on his page. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're gonna be here in a minute.
Oh yeah. So he's a real interesting cat. Very animated as a coach. You thought Bobby Knight was something. Yes, this dude here. He's something else too.
Said Bobby Knight.
But he's a good guy. Longtime friends with B. Baker. It's gonna be a great show. And it's the Platform Sports Talk Show. Your boy Smooth.
And Stan Baby with a mask.
Thank you very much, Big Matt. Also to Joe, B. Baker. Take it easy. Everyone who watched, thank you very much. Share this stream with the peoples, because when it's about sports,
it becomes our business. And business, just picked up.
Stay smooth, y'all. We out.
Keep your mask on.